reduce this, go to here,
Look at that.
and we're hoping that this will come.
I'm hoping that it'll work.
It's actually recording right now.
Is it?
It
Okay.
should be.
All
Excellent
right.
connection. Oh, that's part of the band. So do we have video?
I don't see anything.
Give it a moment.
There we
We have video.
Well, that is delayed. It's weird.
It is very delayed.
I
They
think we
don't
should
do that
speed
on
it up.
StreamYard, huh?
Well, they delayed it by about 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't. Well, we're here and nobody else is. Of course, they delete. They also latency on that. They delay the comments. So
Well, I asked you to speed it up. You said no.
no, I didn't. I could change it if you want.
That's okay.
Viewer activity none. Stream settings.
Dream settings. Yeah. Let's speed it up.
Oh, I can't.
Oh,
I'd have to start it
it's
over.
already set.
It's already set.
Yeah, you're already done.
Stream health is good. Hello. We got us Mr. Smith.
We do.
Yeah.
Where's that? Oh, there's Mr.
Down, he's
Smith
down at the
waving.
bottom. Analytics. I don't know what analytics is. What is analytics anyway? We're just coming on, guys. Let us know if the
Oh, you got
sound.
7 people in the room.
I do. Oh,
Yeah.
seven. Okay, let us know if
I
the
hope the
sound.
sound is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know.
I can't move around as much this time.
Well, you got the screen in front of you, so you're good.
We are here.
We are.
Good job. Thanks for coming.
Okay. What is analytics anyway?
I don't know. Why are you trying to figure out your computer during the middle of the stream?
I'm just curious.
Okay.
I'm just interested in all. There's a lot of
Okay.
buttons and switches,
It'd
you
be
know.
really cool if the people could watch what you're doing.
Yeah. There are so many different controls, okay, on OBS and YouTube.
Yeah.
I have learned now that I can actually have a scene come on,
Yeah.
okay, a fade to gold on the
Uh,
beginning and at the end.
right.
I could do the same thing with the sound in the picture,
Yeah.
but it's so complicated to set it up. I gave up this morning. I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like God, okay? Uh, it answers everything. It knows everything, and it talks in normal language, okay? Oh, that's a wonderful idea. It says, I said I'd like to have a fade to, fade maybe gold to, you know, uh, out or gold in. Oh, that's a great idea. You know what? Here's how you do it. Oh, it's so freaking complicated on OBS. Give me a break. Hello, Easy Street. Uh, Texas. He's a Texan. All right. Well, we're a little delayed, but I see my mouth moving on the screen.
Well, you have 20 people in the room. Hi,
I
everybody.
have 20. Okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit. I don't see any revenue though. That's the Jew in me. The Jew in me looks at the dollar signs. That's what I'm looking for.
Someone please send Goldfinger $1, will you?
Yes. Make me happy. Let me see $1. Uh, oh well, we got to talk about that too in a minute. But
Okay.
uh, yeah, you were asking me about as well. People are coming on. You were talking, asking me about Tommy. So Tommy was a character.
Right.
We did 4 series.
Right.
Okay, 4 chapters.
Right.
Probably, like you had said, probably not a good idea to do 4 chapters. Didn't work out so well.
Right.
There was a chapter 5 on Tommy. I couldn't put it up. We talked all about medical stuff and medical procedures in the USA and the
Okay.
things that are wrong and the food and uh, the different things you could take to stop cancer.
Uh-huh.
And then Carolyn goes, "Have you looked up what's allowed on YouTube?
Right.
None of that's allowed.
Right. Well,
They
you
would
can't give
totally take
medical
me off."
advice.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
didn't give advice. It was just what happened to me with my cancer.
right.
And then he
Well,
started
that's
going into,
okay. It's if you're relating to a personal
yeah, but then
experience.
Tommy got into what he's done to people and how he cured their cancer, and he talked about different.
You can't say you cured cancer.
Exactly.
You can't say.
And I'm going, oh, shit. Maybe I could put what do they call it? Something in the description that releases me from it. Like a.
That's just a shot
And
in
I
the dark.
said, it's dead. I'm
Right.
not putting it up. I'm not going to chance it. Hello, everybody. We got 26. Wait just a few minutes. Got Chuck.
What's up, Big Dog and Goldfinger? What's going up,
Uh,
Easy Street style?
let you guys all the time. Thank you so much, Easy Street. Guys, let us know how the sound in the picture is. We're still waiting to hear from that. This is Victor says Paul could be Dr. Evil. Good morning, guys. Life in the Philippines.
They're
Travel.
always referring to 007 because you
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. My
Your
age.
whole life that's been like that.
No,
No,
no. I legally changed my name in
you
the
know you really changed your name, but since you changed your name,
yeah.
hasn't everyone kind of associated you with James Bond
There was
movies?
a period of time when they used to call me Gold Member.
Yeah, yeah, it's more appropriate.
They got confused with the movie after it came out. I can't think of his name at the moment, but and people go. I said no, it's a different part of the anatomy. It's not Gold Member. It's
Yeah.
Gold
Yeah.
Finger. Uh, let's see.
Sounds low. Okay.
Sounds low. Okay. Now we're gonna make this. Oh, let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let's bring this up to 80. All right, let's try that. All right. Well, see if it made a difference.
Oh, Paul, whatever happened to the pretty peanut girl your wife interviewed a while ago? She left town because she is she was being hassled by so many guys. This woman was on my channel
Yeah,
and she was very beautiful and
they all
very
are though.
well. This one was
Unusually beautiful.
unusually had a couple of assets that you don't normally see on a Filipino.
TNA.
Yeah.
We can say that.
Well, we can say the T. And so,
Oh, the T's.
but
This
the
the
thing is, here's the funny part, is I didn't know it. You wouldn't know it to look at her, but she's gay.
oh, that's funny.
She has a girlfriend,
Oh,
and the girlfriend
isn't that
is,
always the way? The prettiest ones,
they say that about men.
the
They always
prettiest
say
men.
these gorgeous men that work
Well,
out and
it's
have
true.
zero body fat and
It's
all that kind
actually
of
I know
stuff.
a couple gay guys, and they're
Always.
all the girl when I one is my son. He's
Hmm.
gay,
Hmm.
and growing up, all the women would always say, "What's your son's name? How old is he?" Of course, he
Right.
was way too young because these are all cougars.
Right.
But I going, he's half your age and he's gay. Turned him off right away.
So anyway, to answer the question,
Yeah,
I probably never completed the question.
I'm sorry.
Um, she bugged out of town because she was actually there was a couple of guys that came. One's a YouTuber. I'll leave his name out of
They
it.
came
Yeah, two
to.
guys that do YouTube
How are they gonna find
came
her?
to do Maggette and hunted her down. Well, they just went around looking for people selling peanuts,
Oh my
and they
God.
were all over the place. And then she actually changed her location, and she was actually right across the street from Hypermart, so it's really easy to spot.
Okay.
She was next to the furniture store, whatever Mandawi Foam,
Okay.
and she had a stand there. And then she was actually dated a guy that saw her on my wife's channel, and he was a gentleman. He fell head over heels in love with her, and went back and did all the stuff that usual suspects, spent a ton of money on her, spent a ton of money on the family, went back to meet her family, and she just faked it until she couldn't fake it anymore.
I see.
And she said, "You know what? I
That's
have
good that she didn't use the guys because she's gay. I mean, she
no,"
didn't
and
really.
like her family saw a pig at a poke, so they clipped him for a little bit, but they didn't ruin him. Um, and so I think she probably regrets having been on the channel, just because it brought her so much attention,
Ah.
you know. But that's see, it's still getting her attention. This is months old, and
Oh,
this
it's months
gentleman's
ago. Now, when
asking
you say
about.
peanut girl, I guess she sells
She
peanuts.
sold
Because who the hell
peanuts.
watches
That's why
channel
we call
anyway?
her Peanut Girl.
You know I don't
Yeah,
watch her
I
channel.
know. Thanks a lot, you putz.
So when you said peanut girl, I thought she was shaped like a peanut or something.
No, no,
No,
no,
she
no.
sold
She
peanuts.
sold peanuts,
Okay. All right.
and that was
No.
why we called her the Peanut Girl.
Okay.
And then my friend
Yeah, she would be
Alex,
easy to
my
find because
friend
she
and
lives.
Alex
Yeah.
was a young guy that's no longer here. He went to Bali.
Okay.
He was in love with this girl that made sandwiches, and so we called her Sandwich Girl.
Sandwich girl.
Okay, so we have these nicknames
I
for
get
all
it now.
these
I get it
people.
now. It's what
And it's
they.
like May and I have nicknames, not for you because your name is so different. We don't have to say anything, but we have five Mikes that we know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we have Tall Mike, we have Short Mike, we have Mike and Janet. And so when we're
Right.
referring to this guy named Mike, if I'm talking to my wife, she always, like, if we're talking about Mike of Mike's Philippine retirement, she'll go Mike and Janet.
Yeah, that's the
All
way to.
right. If we're
Right.
talking to my other friend that just bought a house in California, in not in California, but in America, in Tennessee, we call him Tall Mike. And then we have Little Mike, and then we have Short Mike.
Oh my
And it's
God.
just
They all
unreal.
know who
And
you're
then we
talking.
all have the same problem with Bill and Bob, and Dave,
Exactly.
because we know
Dan,
these
everything
guys,
else. There's
all that.
several
Yeah.
Dans.
We just have to, we usually associate it with their girlfriends or wives.
Okay, that's how
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you have a system. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, we have to, because I
So
don't
do
know
you know who
which one she's
Crab
talking
King
about.
is?
Sorry?
Crab King.
Crab King. Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
know his name?
Yeah. What is his name? That, yeah, I always had a problem with him because his Facebook
Everybody knows him as
says
Crab King.
Crab King.
That's the problem when you start
And
doing
that's
that.
the weird thing when you have a Facebook channel or page and you use a different name
Right,
than your real name. And then to compound the problem, you'll have an email with a different name.
right.
And what the point of that is, I've never known. I mean, I've been Paul on my
Crab King,
on my Facebook. I've been Paul on YouTube. I've been Paul on my email.
Paul Old Dog.
And
We only know you
well,
as
old
Paul Old
dog
Dog.
is they just
That's how
but it's
I.
all, the point being is still Paul.
Yeah,
People know my name.
yeah.
They don't know me
That's the
as
problem with using it. So Jack and Jai,
Jack,
Jack and Jai.
Jack,
So
Jack,
Jack
Jack and
stopped by
Shy. Yeah,
yesterday
yeah,
and
yeah,
brought me
yeah.
uh, decaffeinated coffee. It was very nice of him. I'm on a fast, and I'm
Hmm.
going. I can't have coffee because I'll get the jitters. I can't, and you can't get when I go to a. They go, oh, you go to a coffee shop here. Well, first of all, two of the main coffee shops are closed.
Right.
That's first problem. The other problem is none of the coffee shops sell decaffeinated coffee. Have you ever noticed that?
I haven't because I've
None.
always had the real deal.
They only have coffee. They don't have decaffeinated. So Jack brought by a package that you can't buy it in the store. You could buy it at Robinson's. I didn't even think about that. I just assumed they didn't have it here. But anyway, Jack and his very lovely wife, Jai,
Mhm.
and they have two dogs also. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
They're a
very
nice
nice
couple.
people. Yeah,
Very nice couple. And he made the effort to come over here and give me a package of decaffeinated instant coffee. So I had some.
nice.
So thank you, Jack. I had some this morning.
Thanks.
Now we missed everybody's conversations. Let's see.
Austin
Gold
Power. That's
member,
right. Gold members from Austin
Austin
Powers.
Powers.
Yeah.
Morning. That's Bryant. Um, started watching Tony. Tony, he's moving to the Philippines. Well, welcome, Tony. What we need is one more expat. Sorry, you're more than welcome, really. Mike,
Vietnam's nice, Tony.
Elo is opening
Oh,
up to expats, by the way.
half price in Buckholland.
uh, let's see, what do we got? You know some of these people? I know Mike. Mike had to be timed out, as I remember, a couple lives before. He was talking shit.
Still is. He's cleaning up his
I'm just
system.
cleaning up my
Man.
system. Yeah, but keep it clean. Keep it cleaning. Okay, keep cleaning it, Mike. Uh, I also thought it was Tommy. The problem with issues with I'm sure he means Tommy is the all thought he was a snake oil salesman, but best comment was that the name of the video should have been Thomas the Train Takes Goldfinger for a Ride. Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about pinning it. He said
We're,
suggested I pin it.
you and I were discussing that before we
Yes, we
started
did.
this. Is I've had a number of ringers on my channel, and I think
You
everybody
you
has.
don't know.
And they say, "Why don't you vet that guy?" It's like, how do you vet him?
You
I'm
don't
supposed to
know.
run a credit report.
And it would
Am I
ruin it
supposed to
if you
call? What do
and it
But
would ruin
it
the
did
whole
make me sit
thing.
up and pay attention. I said, you know what? If it is anything's that I can't validate here, or if they're selling something, or if they're trying to promote something, I don't want any part of it
Well,
anymore.
here's and we should have known he wanted to promote because he was talking about how he had a website and he has a book and he's
Mhm.
selling it on Amazon.
Yeah,
And that was the key. But
that's
the
the
thing
problem.
is, I'm still learning. I'm new. So
Of course,
I'm green.
of
I'm
course,
naive and gullible.
dude.
Okay.
I've done it 15 times if
Okay.
I've done it once.
So it's a
So
learning lesson.
sure.
But I didn't know a whole lot about him until we got to several hours of conversation. He came back for a second, a third, a fourth chapter. And there's a fifth chapter we're not going to air. I deleted it.
Right.
We talked about that. I can't put that up because it's against YouTube rules
Mhm.
to talk about medical and medicines.
Mhm.
So we touched upon it on four, and then I stopped it, and then we had a whole nother recording of an hour. I can't put it up.
We had breakfast with him,
Yeah,
and actually, my antenna went up a little bit.
you should have said something to me
Well,
because you're more knowledgeable than me.
it was more fun to
You're the
watch you
old
go down
dog.
the rabbit hole.
Thanks so much. Thanks for setting me up with him.
No, but he said he had been on a number of podcasts before. And I asked which ones, because I'd never heard of them.
Y-
And so it sounded to me like he was shopping for advertising, you know.
And he was.
And so that's okay.
It's okay.
That's
I
okay.
understand it.
You did it, it's there,
I learned.
and no one got harmed. No animals
It was
were
an
harmed
interesting
in the
story.
filming. So what the hell?
Yes, I probably have received it. I get so many emails, Mike. I don't know. No.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I got that one. You know what?
did
I
Mike
didn't
send
even
you an
watch. I read
email?
the first paragraph, Mike, and I deleted it. Don't forget to like and stream. Yes. Uh,
I don't like this dream.
I like the stream. You read some. Uh,
Oh, well, I got this guy from Queens, New York. Thoughts on Rovina Suites Hotel near the airport. Is it too far away from the action? Hotel looks great. I would recommend that hotel all day long. In fact, that's where JR stays every time he comes into town.
Rovina.
Yeah, and I think May and I are going to go check in there. We do little staycations at hotels, and they're really, I haven't been in them, but I've been by them, and they're really clean. They have
Is
balconies.
that
They
where you
have a
do your
beautiful
swinging?
pool. Do what?
Your swing.
Swing. What
Yeah,
swing?
yeah. Swing like trade partners. Swing.
Oh, stop it. Will you?
Or is that where you dress up? Does she dress up in a little Girl Scout outfit for you
Every day.
every day? Yeah, she does actually. Well, we won't go there. Uh, okay, yeah, that's good to know. I'll keep that in my book, Ravina. I don't remember that
Rovina
name.
Suite. I would be careful um, about putting hotels and restaurants in your book. The reason why is that they're great today and crappy tomorrow. Now, I used to promote, not promote, but I used to say, May and I used to always stay at the Sierra Hotel, um, which is real close to the action, good parking,
The
great
one in
service.
Darwin or the one in
Here in
Duma?
Dumaguete.
Okay.
And what we do is like on my birthday,
Hmm.
it's always my little tradition, I guess. On my birthday, the only thing I want for my birthday is to
Sex.
shut my phone off and go to a hotel with my wife.
It's your one day of sex per year. It's your birthday.
And so, uh, when we went to Sierra the last couple of times, it was awesome. And then, and so I was kind of bragging on the Sierra a little bit.
Uh-huh.
If someone would ask me, hey, where do you recommend we stay? I'd say, God, I like the Sierra. I can't say that now
Why?
because when we went, the aircon wasn't cold.
Oh,
The TV would go on and off. The internet was sketchy.
I thought they threw you out.
No. And I looked at the out of the building, and they haven't cleaned the air conditioners and
Oh, that's
since
not
they
cool.
opened,
That's not cool
stuff
at
like
all.
that. It's like if you look at that Marina Spatial, those condos, those
Uh-huh.
little cardboard boxes they're selling over there. Same thing. They haven't cleaned the air cons, and I don't know since they built the place. So,
We have to give Mike a timeout. Uh,
well, you know
timeout.
what? Don't go one further down. One down, go down. One there, hit that one.
Hit that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you later what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. All right. Let's see.
You got 76 people in the room.
Yes, it was starting to seem we were about to
Can we
enter
get
the Twilight
76
Zone or
likes
the
for
third
Goldie
chapter.
here?
Uh, oh, I got
Hey, you got 80,
I got
but we
80.
still got 31 crappy likes.
I still don't have any money.
If you hit the like button, make sure you hydrate and bend at the
Can
knees.
somebody
We
send
don't
me a
want
dollar?
anybody to get
I'd
injured.
like to start off with a dollar, okay? I haven't made anybody yet. Monetization's been very sad. I got monetized in a month, in less than a month. I
You're not
haven't
a
been on.
YouTube millionaire yet?
Yeah, I started April 4th is when I
Uh,
started the channel, so it's not been a month. So I'm really proud of myself, but I haven't gotten one. See, I got. It says that I have collected a whole $2.26,
oh,
but they're not asking me for any financial information where to
after you
put it
get up
because
to 100.
they're going like, "We'll let
Right.
you know when you need when
Right.
you need your bacon
Settle
information."
down, Dennis.
Yeah. uh, Paul, this is for you.
You should agree. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, my father is 100 years old as of March.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
100.
A centennial
Centurion.
centurion.
Yeah,
That's incredible, dude. That
that's
is really. Is
very,
he?
very,
How is his health? How's everything else?
his physical health is awesome.
That's amazing.
His
That's good for
mental
you.
health has
Good to hear
gone to
for you.
hell. Um, he's full blown Alzheimer's.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, dementia.
so somebody's
Like I saw
watching him.
him 3 years ago when I
Has
went
it been
back
that
to,
long? I
yeah,
remember
it
when you
was
went
3
home.
years, bro.
Is it
I
really?
went for his
God, it
97th
seemed like
birthday.
less than that.
I
Okay,
know,
that's good.
97th birthday, and I went and saw him, and it was the beginning of the end. And so when he saw me, he
Oh,
knew who I
that's
was, and
good.
he
That's
was
good.
really happy to see me. And he was really embarrassed because he said, he goes, Paul, honey, he goes, do you have children? you know, and I said, yeah, I do, Dad. And I named off the boys. And he goes, oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
So he
But
started
what
to be
was
forgiving.
really funny is that his long term memory of when he was 19, 20, 21 in the Navy, all that he could remember to the finite details of conversations he
Yeah, don't
had
say
with
that.
his
That's happening
father.
to me in my dreams. I remember
It's
stuff
just,
when I was a
it's
kid.
true, bro.
It's weird.
And he sat, and I recorded it. I have it all recorded. These conversations
Really,
of
that's
what he
cool.
did when he was in the Navy. And you know what really impressed me is I never knew this about my dad, but in my household growing up, never once did I ever hear any mention of bigotry at all.
That's
There
good.
was never, no name calling, no, none of that
They
stuff.
didn't point out a black and a white
No,
woman being
never,
together or vice versa.
never. And I realized how far ahead of his time my father was
Yeah, my parents were
because I
prejudiced.
asked him about the Navy, and he never saw battle or combat. He
No.
wanted to go kill somebody. He was 19 years old, and he wanted to go drop a bomb because he
Okay.
was a rear gunner on a plane off of a ship. And so I said, what was the worst part of being in the service? And he says, the way they treated blacks. He said it drove me crazy. He said I was ashamed to be white because we were housed in
A lot
separate
of
unit.
prejudice.
We were housed in separate housing. He said, and they had the worst jobs. They had to unload the bombs. He goes, one misstep, and there goes the whole group. He said, and the food they ate was different. He said,
Really?
yeah, and he said it just broke his heart.
So they did they
He was
separate them in the
ashamed of that.
barracks, do you think?
Huh?
Do you think they separated in the
They
barracks?
did.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
there were black barracks and white barracks.
Oh, I know they before my time they had black bathrooms and white bathrooms, but
But and he said, you know what? These guys are willing to die for me, and I'm willing to die
so
for
that'd be in
them.
the
So why
30s.
are we not being
Yeah,
treated the same?
exactly.
We're taking the same amount of risk. But I didn't know that about my dad.
Mm.
And then he told me, because where he lives, how he has supported those of different ethnicities and actually put a couple of kids through school. Like
Oh, good for him.
his housekeeper is a
Really?
Mexican woman out there in Palm Springs, and he put her daughter through school. So that's my father.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
that's
I'm glad
that's
you
I have
taped.
to shout out to my dad.
Yeah, of
He's
course.
100 years old, and he's a prince.
That's of
Yeah,
course. That's it's good. I lost my dad. I wish my dad was
I'm
still
sorry to
around.
hear that, man.
Chuck says he likes Hotel Essentia.
Hotel Essentia is very good.
Can I come up on the StreamYard?
As of today, it's good.
I don't know what you mean by come up on the StreamYard. We're not using StreamYard if that's what you mean. If you want to, when you may come up on the StreamYard, you have to explain yourself, Nick. Uh, but if you are, I highly recommend. Okay. What do you see down there?
As my friends Jay and Gladys, I met up with them when I was in America.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they asked me to keep up the good work. Thank you
shout
very
out to
much.
Jay and Gladys.
Yeah,
Lovely people.
DJ Sweet Daddy. I'll be at Dumagetti the very end of July. I'll be sure to leave. And the first week of August. Really hoping to meet you both. Yeah. I,
Go ahead and send Goldfinger an email, and he'll set up a date with you.
yeah. Oh, my stomach's growling. Oh my God. I hope you didn't hear that. I haven't eaten in 3.5 days. I'm on a fast, guys. And my stomach is growling like crazy. Um,
You
I
ever
don't,
think about just doing like one day and then, or 2 days
well,
possibly, and
after I
then
get off,
have a one meal and
I'm
just
going to do,
stick it to that?
yeah, what I'm going to do is a 5 day and then I'm going to do one meal a day.
Yeah,
But it's kickstart.
I get you.
Yeah, it's a kickstart.
Well, I feel it. Yeah, it's the best way to do it, really.
Eric Cole,
Let's see,
hello.
what? No, 99 Club membership. That's what I've got on my channel. I
I,
just did a 99-cent
I
store
don't have,
video.
I haven't got time to deal with individual videos. Like I can release videos to people first that are sign up because
Hmm.
I forgot to go. I did the three levels. I
Hmm.
did the silver, gold, platinum level. So I
Hmm.
could put out videos to people that sign up on that and they have to join that. It's not
Hmm.
it's pretty cheap. I think it's 4.99 or something like 6.99 a month. And I could do the videos to them first. But to do individual like what you have, 99 Cent Club, which I my card got that's another story. My card got canceled. So no,
So you
not
can
because
afford
anything.
99 cents.
Yeah, like I no, it automatically disconnected from you because they wanted to charge you for the month. But what happened was I had a whole bunch of $1 charges,
Yeah.
and they put my card on hold. No,
Oh,
whole nother story. Put
yeah.
my card on hold. I call them up. They go, "Do you know who these charges are? It's $1 here, $1 there, but like four." And I'm going, "No, not really." Okay, thank you. I go, "Wait a minute, what are you doing?" "Oh, we just blocked your card." I said, "Pay the $4 for God's sakes."
Yeah.
I
It's
said,
usually people fishing to see if they can get through with it. Then they go out and they make a big purchase.
they blocked. They said, "We're
That's the
sorry, it's
scam.
too late. We blocked your card. We're gonna have to say to you do what?" I'm going, "Okay, are you gonna send it to the Philippines?" No. So now I'm waiting for another card to be sent to my son, who has to spend $100+ to send it to me, and then I got to wait for a new, PIN code. So now I don't have a card.
So that's, guys, if you're listening to this, is one of the
Pitfalls.
challenges
Yeah,
of living in the
it's a
Philippines.
pitfall.
Hmm.
Uh, anyway, uh, are there any thoughts of Air A and B? Air and Air A and B,
Marina Spatial for DJ,
B and B, Air and B and B.
I'm not a fan of. Um,
There are some, by the way. Sweet
but
Debbie, there are some B and
I,
Bs.
I only, I've never used Airbnb. Isn't that weird? I've
I've
always
never
just
had used
checked
them
into
either.
hotels.
I heard somebody horror stories. I don't use them.
Well, I haven't heard any horror stories,
I
but
did.
I think that's more for guys that are going to stay for like a week or a month or something like that.
This.
Actually, I'm lying to you. My friend Gary set me up in Thailand with an Airbnb,
Oh, okay.
but I didn't book it. I mean, he just did it through his thing. And I think that's more for long-term stays. But if you're just going to hang for a day or two, just go to a hotel.
That's the way I look at it.
That's what I like.
Here's Jim's got a question for you,
Okay.
and you can answer
You're
Jim or
still wearing glasses. How did your eye surgery come out? Eye surgery came out perfect.
the
So the
vision didn't change.
yeah.
That's the point, guy. Okay. I
No,
mean,
the vision's great.
cataracts, because you get cataracts doesn't
The only
change your
reason I wear
vision.
glasses is for reading. These are like, what do you call them? Bifocals or
Are
something
they
like
buy
that.
or try?
Bi.
Okay. And
Yeah.
are they, I forgot what they call it, progressive?
Progressive
Yeah.
and transitional.
Yeah.
So
They
they're
got all,
three in one. I got sunglasses when I walk outside, and if I want to read something,
right.
it's weird, but I have a little bit of distance on the top,
Right.
and where I really need them, of all places, is watching TV. From the
Huh.
couch to the
It
TV,
doesn't
it's I got
work.
to squint to
I have a
read the
problem. I have the same
subtitles.
thing you have, and the problem I have is I can't read. I can on the lower. I got to tilt my head like this.
Hmm.
I don't. It gives me a neck ache. And
Hmm.
honestly, I can read better with taking the glasses off, reading a book.
Really?
Anything in the first foot is better without the glasses altogether.
Yeah, I'm different than that.
Yeah, but I have
Yeah, but for
stigmatism.
the top part, which gives a little bit of distance for me, helps it with TVs. But far, far away, I can see great.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect to answer the guy's question, this gentleman's question, Jim Sully. But I'm very happy with the results.
So Philip is asking me, if you don't mind asking, and I don't mind, what attracted you to a single mother? Well, um, I actually I met Carolyn on Filipina Cupid, sorry. And I just like talking to her. I didn't know she had a son at the time. I didn't know about, we just talked about other things. I found out later that she had a son. Her son's staying with us now for a month. He's Dominic, and he's just an awesome kid. He's 6 years old. So it wasn't that I was attracted to a single mother, but I didn't mind. She wasn't taking care of her son at the time. Her mother was. And finally I said to her when we got this house, I said, bring him over. We have the room, bring him over. I want to meet him. So the mother brought him over a couple times, and now he loves it here, and maybe he might stay with us. I know she misses him a lot. So I'm hoping he stays here. There you go, Paul.
Paul, when you volunteered for the embassy, how many times do you estimate you went to the hospitals? What was the most common problem that brought you there? Interesting question because the day before yesterday, I had a meeting with the embassy guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were in town, and there's myself and three other dudes that are also liaisons.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But I'm the only one with a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And so when I was really excited about having the meeting with them because the head of Social Security is going to call me or email me this week because I explained to them that there's a lot of angst right now about Social Security.
Okay.
You need to have a real ID, and people are worried that they're going to have to fly back to the States. And what if they change their address? And I want to just address all those questions. So if people have questions that they'd like me to address,
Yeah.
they can feel free to email me
Yeah, they
or
should.
email you, or we can just you
You
can
know
just
what I'll do?
forward it to me.
I didn't do anything on the description
Yeah,
beforehand,
you can
so
put my
I'll
email in here,
yeah, yeah, I'll put
and I
your
would like it to be brief, please. You know, like what will this
keep
happen
it
to
brief.
Social Security? Will that happen to Social
Now, is this
Security?
just for Social Security cards?
Well, this is I kept it at Social Security
Okay,
because
because he's a Social Security
the
representative.
that's the biggest deal that I deal with. When people call me, they say, "Hey, Paul, I didn't get my check, and something went wrong." And so I'll call my guy at the embassy, who actually has nothing to do with Social Security, but he has a guy that handles that department, who I met in person 3 or 4 months ago when they had the satellite here. And that's the guy I'm going to be talking to.
Okay, cool.
And they handle 44 countries. One guy handles 44 countries
Whoa,
for Social Security. It's
that's quite a
brutal.
bit.
Yeah, we were talking about the cutbacks and all that kind of stuff. So people are scared because they're shutting down brick and mortar buildings for
Yeah,
Social Security.
right.
They're scared because sometimes they get their check, sometimes they don't. They're worried. Do they have to redo this? Do they have to get a new driver's license? Because there's so much out there. And to answer one question is you do not have to get a driver's license. That was primarily about travel, had nothing to do with Social Security,
Okay.
but the two got mixed up. So somewhere in some YouTube video or something, and you know how the media is, they just
Well, they
take
make
everything
everything a
and
big news
make it a
story. They blow
big
it up.
problem,
Yeah, they
blow it
blow it
up,
up.
and
That's
you
what
know
sells.
they want to attack a politician, so
I
they
thought
say
I
this is
lost my
happening.
Social Security card 2 days ago.
Uh,
I'm going through my wallet and I needed it for YouTube. They wanted to verify my Social Security number, blah, blah, blah. And it said one of the items you need is either driver's license, Social Security number, or passport. So I figured, okay, I'll just use Social Security and I don't have a card in my wallet.
I don't think
I'm
I do either.
freak, I'm freaking out. I'm looking everywhere for it. I'm tearing the place apart. I'm going, what the hell? Did I take it out of my, did I take my license out of the wall and drop my Social card? So finally in the evening, I said to Carolyn, I says, I have a little problem, but I still have a picture of my Social Security card. Which, by the way, if you guys come over, make sure you take photographs of all your cards front and back and save it in a separate file. But uh, Carolyn said, "Oh no, I took it out of your wallet." What do you mean you took it out of my wallet and you didn't tell me?
Right.
She goes, "Oh well, it was paper and I wanted to get it plastic covered,"
Yeah.
which you can't do, by the way. Did you know you're not supposed to
I didn't
plastic
know
cover?
that. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to
you could
laminate them.
ask the guy, but I was told you cannot.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so she says, I'm gonna go get it plastic covered because it was getting worn out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You drove me nuts, crazy woman.
So anyway, did I leave off on that? All right.
Yeah, you did.
Um, okay.
But ask the Social Security guy about
Oh, he asked about hospitals. That's what that question was.
where are we?
And I went off on another tangent. So I have visited three hospitals, and the worst one was a gentleman that needed to have his foot amputated, and he refused to have his foot amputated.
Oh,
And I called the embassy from my phone to talk not to the head of Social Security, but one of his um, workers, for lack of a better word. And she talked to the gentleman on the phone.
we need to speak up. They're saying.
And okay, so she needed to talk to this gentleman on the phone. So I got her on the phone and him on the phone, and I took him lunch. And as I asked him, "You need anything?" and he goes, "Man, I'm hungry," because he was broke and in the hospital. And so I got him on the phone with her, and she said, "I just want to clarify: Are you going to allow this doctor to amputate your foot?" He said, "No,
No.
I'm not going to." And she said, "All right, sir." She's not there to convince him. She's there to gather information.
Oh,
And he died.
really?
Oh
From
yeah.
that? Uh,
Well, because everybody told him, all the doctors, medical staff said, if you do not remove your foot, then you are going to die. And he said,
and
well,
he
you're
did.
not cutting my foot off.
So he died.
So he died. And one little word of the wise out here. Um, oh, I have an interesting statistic too. Remind me. But one word of the wise is if you get a cut or a scrape on your ankle or your lower part of your leg or your foot, and you wear slippers like I am,
Uh-huh.
I'm wearing flip flops, and you drive a motorbike or you're just walking even, and you walk in through water.
Dirty water.
Ooh, more and more guys have got what's that blood poisoning called? Where a red line starts going up your leg.
Yeah, I know what you're
Um,
talking about, but
I'm
I
trying to
don't know
think
the
of it.
name.
We were just talking about the other day. It can kill you. So, if you do have a wound on your lower extremities that could be exposed to water, or even on your arms and hands for that matter, um, cover it. Hit it quick with the antibacterial stuff.
Alcohol, things like that. Count it.
Cover it up big time with plasters, with band-aids, all that stuff. Because that one little nick will let that one little microbe in there that'll end up killing you. And so I did a video about that with my friend who got that condition. A guy actually emailed me and thanked me for saving his leg. He said,
Really?
I watched the video with your friend. He goes, it was really boring. He said, but I watched it anyway. And you know what? The same thing happened to me. And I was going to ignore it because men like to ignore it. It'll go
Yeah.
away. They shake it off. They don't need to see a
We're tough.
doctor. We got these egos, right?
Yeah.
He said, but I watched it because I watched that video. I said, I'm going to get it checked out. And the doctor told him if he hadn't have gone on, he would have lost his leg. The amputation
Oh,
thing
I
again,
had a little puppy
the
and it
whole
bit me
story.
twice. And
The
everybody says you
rabies.
got to go get rabies. I says, no, it's a little blood. Put a little alcohol on it. Put a
Right.
Band-Aid on. And everybody says you're gonna get rabies. So then Carolyn, of course, pushed it and she went up on Chat GPT and looked it up and they said you've got to get rabies shots, especially if it's a puppy and it hasn't had its shots yet.
Right.
I said,
And it broke the
okay.
skin.
The dog was fine. It was a happy dog, but I scared it. I came up behind it, grabbed for the behind to pick it up, and it just turned around, bit me twice. I didn't know what had grabbed it on both
Sure.
sides. Um, but dog turned up having before he got his rabies shots. He was only 4 weeks old. He wasn't ready for rabies shots. He got rabies and parvo and all that other problems and was drooling and everything else. And they had to put the
Yep.
dog to sleep because they said it's too late. They can't give it. But I'm glad I got the shots because I did go to the shots and get it. Painful, but at least I'm not drooling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Uh, is Philip's thinking about investing in precious metals? Well, Philip,
Okay, that's still in. Jim Desk is having a problem with the volume.
well, I cannot fix it at
I'm
this
talking as close as
moment.
I can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost at the mic and the volume is pretty much up. Um, there's nothing I could do about except for the gain, and I don't know how to do that right at this moment. I'd have to go into OBS and change it. So I don't know if I want to do that or not. I might lose you guys if I do it. Um,
Hit this bottom thing again with the volume. It just go all the way.
well, that's our volume. That's not theirs.
Okay.
Uh, our volume is. I'll show you. Okay, sorry guys. We can't be at the same level. We could be a little bit, but I can't make you anymore.
I'm
And
as
if I
loud
go
as I
into
get.
settings, I'm going to go into gain. Let's see if I can do anything. Audio, uh, advanced. Yeah, I don't think I can do it, guys. It's going to be. I've got to ask ChatGPT how to do this. I don't see the gain controls here.
I
Only the
remember
mic is.
last time I was moving around a lot and people couldn't hear me.
Yeah. I don't know if I should
I'll
do
let
it
you
while I'm
fiddle
doing.
with it. Go do it while
I
we're
don't think I'm going
live.
to do it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go back to us. All right. Anyway, oh, we're not back at us. Where are we? There we are. I'm gonna just pick up my voice. How about that? Let's see. Where are
I'll
we?
talk louder.
I'll talk louder. Um, walking is paying off. Well, honestly, I'm not walking. I'm fasting. Uh, but I do like walking, and I'll get back to walking as soon as I get off a 5 day fast. I'm on my fourth day of a 5 day fast, and then I'll go fasting one meal a day, intermittent fasting. But thank you. Um, he says the volume's fine, so I don't know. Boondocks. It comes from the Philippines. Okay. I don't know what boondocks means, but okay.
Sepsis. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Jim. Or JMR.
where are we? Where are you? You're jumping way down. Uh, yeah, I am hungry. Oh, sepsis. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
If you get infected. Yeah.
Sepsis.
Uh, let's see. Turn up the. Some people say turn up the volume, but I can't
But
right
other
now.
people say it's fine, so I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I used to get that a lot until I didn't.
That's all I got. So, sorry guys if the volume's too low. I'll see about changing it next time. I think I have to change the gain, but it gets a little bit involved. I can't do it in the middle of a live that I know of. Anyway, so anyway, what else is new with you?
Me?
You.
We've been busy, man.
Everybody's still asking about the house. I know you've gone. Do you want to go there?
Oh, I don't mind going
Okay.
there. I just did
So,
a deal on
what's the
Alex,
update?
Alex Kosh, the
Yeah,
Russian
yeah, I
kid.
know
I
Alex.
just
Yeah,
did a
he's been
video
here.
with him that he released last night.
Yeah.
And I told the story there, and people love to beat me up
Really?
oh, yeah, that I got conned and this and that. But the land update, I'll give you a quick synopsis.
Okay.
The land itself, the land, is coming along great, getting the title. JR from over at JRC took
Right.
that ball and ran with it. And so he's doing a bang up job. And as far as the build goes, we're having a tailgate party on the 6th of next month at
Oh,
at
okay.
the courthouse because the contractor is supposed to show up in court. In fact, when I
Oh,
leave,
they found him.
well, no, I don't know. He's been served, is
Are
all
they
I know.
Has
So
he actually been physically served?
he
Okay.
has a date to be in court in Dumaguete on the 6th at 10
Oh,
o'clock.
good.
So anybody wants to go down there with us, feel free.
Yeah.
And right after I leave you, I'm going up to the attorney, Nathan, up the street. And I'm not part of the lawsuit. I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to pay him to try to recover my money. Unfortunately, I'm pessimist about being able to collect money from this guy.
Well, that's true here.
It just
You get
is what it
judgments,
is,
but you don't get the
you
money.
know. But we would like to see him put in jail. And he does have to show up. So I don't even know if this dude's going to show up or not.
He'll leave the country, won't he?
I don't think he can. I
Is he
think they put a
Filipino?
hold on him. No, he's a South African.
So he can
And
leave the country.
so he would I think that these attorneys, because there's three different attorneys from three groups of people, because over 50 people, or well, 50 people got
Wow.
hosed by this guy, not just me. But I didn't get bit for that much money. I lost about 3 months worth of income. Some people lost their life savings, and that's who I feel bad for.
That's
And
a shame.
so
That
it's
really
really
is a shame.
brutal. But
He can
anyway,
leave.
the land update is I'll give it is the land. I'm not going to build or do anything more with the land until we actually have title. I call it a pink slip in my hand. Okay, number one. And then
Play
what?
it
Because
safe.
I'm in no rush. And then we've put up a fence. We've put up
Right.
what's called a kubo.
Right.
We're 80% of the way done with getting our permits done. And the only thing that's holding that back is May's sister Jing, who goes out with her, is getting married.
Yeah, I
And
got an
so, oh, did you get the
invite.
info?
I
Okay.
got an invite
All right.
yesterday.
And
Jing
so
and Ray, they're getting married
she's
on the
busy with that.
was it the
And they're
23rd or
trying to, they
25th?
just went through marriage class yesterday.
They have to have a marriage class. Are you serious?
Yeah, you got to go through a 6 hour marriage class.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's old school out here, buddy. And
All right.
so, the church. And so,
Oh, they just sent
anyway,
me the
it's all
invitation.
May,
In
and
fact.
May was given a message that she's got to come by and pick up a document. She's got to get it notarized, and then she can take it back, and we'll have a full blown building permit, which we're in no rush for right now. We were trying to bust a move earlier. So anyway, long and the short of it is, as far as getting snagged by this guy, we've put that in our rearview mirror, and we've recouped the money in one way, shape, or form. So we're cool. It's a life lesson. And you know what? I got beat up a lot for being a simp and being a this, and I'm a car salesman, so I'm getting my karma
You know,
and blah 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 blah. The
stuff
usual
happens.
crap that people like to throw out there.
It's easy to point
So,
fingers.
no,
2020
I always
hindsight
tell
and
people, it's a mighty fine high horse you're sitting on
yeah.
there in Oklahoma, who's never going to come out to the Philippines anyway. But anyway,
Like they've
go
never
ahead.
been taking themselves in Oklahoma. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
We've all been taken in life.
So,
Okay. I
life
had a
is
contractor rip me
full of
off.
faults and full of miscues. and
Yeah,
mistakes.
I had a
And it,
contractor adding a bathroom in my house in Woodland Hills, California, and he said he needed 50% deposit. I gave him 50% and he disappeared. Never showed up, never bought anything, took the money and run.
there you go.
And
Happens all
and
over
it
the
turns
world,
out he
right?
was using somebody else's contractor's license. I had his card. And,
You know what the favorite line is of the people that comment because they think it makes them sound smart.
yeah.
A foreigner can't own land in the
Oh, that's
Philippines.
not true.
Well, it is true.
Yeah, it's
I
not
can't
100%
own
true.
land out here. I can own a condo, I guess, but I can own the building, but I can't own the land. That's only a Filipino's going to be able to own the land. Like they're telling me something I don't understand. And
It's
I'm
not
not
100.
building it for
There's a
me. I'm
ways
building
around
it
that.
for May's future.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, you're
but
doing for
I
May.
got 30 years on her. So the only motivation for me to build a house to begin with and buy land is for her.
All right.
So that when I'm dead and gone,
She'll
I
have a
know she's
place.
never going to be
I'm shaking the table. I
sorry.
can rent it. You can rent it out. She can
She
rent
can
it out.
rent it. She can live in it for free.
Right.
She can have her family move in. It would cost her $100 a month overhead once you're over and done with. So I got my conscience is clear. You know,
Okay.
she
That's
could have
good.
run off
I
with
knew
a
you were
much
doing that for her.
younger, better looking, richer guy than me. So,
She won't. You
yeah,
know that.
yeah, I know.
She won't.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. The minute they like to say that the minute the house is built, she's going to kick me out.
Okay. So what we got here?
Boondocks. Something about the Boondocks.
This guy. Okay. This guy is. We need to. Let's see. We're gonna put him. You know, let's see. My volume is loud and crystal clear. 30K sound system. Um, Digital cards. What would be a digital card?
I don't know.
That's interesting. Social Security is offering digital cards, according to Richard.
I see. Like a social security card.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
that would
If you
be,
have on your phone or something like that.
I guess. But what
Yeah.
happens if your
Everything's
phone
going
drops in the
digital.
toilet or something? I don't know.
Huh?
What if you lose your phone or somebody steals it? It'll be on your phone.
I got everything on my phone, so
Mm,
I'm screwed if I lose my
all
phone.
right, let's go move
Hey, you
down.
got a member. Looks like you got a member.
Volume's a little low. Well, we'll fix that for next time. I'm
I
sorry.
like it there, Dustin. Thank you, Dustin. You're a platinum minute level
Oh
member.
wow,
So you got your
that's
first
my
member.
first member.
Yay! You see, you'll never forget
Dustin, I
Dustin
owe
Lori.
you. Now I'm gonna remember
All
Dustin.
right,
Okay, Dustin's the first guy.
Dustin's the first. You can
Paul,
take
have you
pride
ever
in that.
thought about having Tommy build one of his bamboo domes for your land? I don't think so. Uh, Hi, Saul.
Saul Goodman. You rock, Daddy.
Saul Goodman. Good
Yeah,
Jewish name.
I like
Saul.
Saul.
I knew a few Sauls back in Los Angeles, and they were nice guys. Those all of
Yeah.
them,
This
little
is coming
Jewish guys
off
that were
of
nice.
Breaking Bad. Saul Goodman was the lawyer on Breaking Bad,
Yeah,
and then he
that's
had
right.
his own
But I
channel.
did know it.
Yeah,
It's getting warm here. I'm gonna
it's getting hot.
change it. Yeah, I'm gonna change it. All right, let's change it down a little bit.
It's all this hot air we're blowing out of our
Right.
pie holes.
Well, I got my first, and he went platinum.
He went all the way. He went all in, baby.
He did all in. I mean, I like,
See,
wow, that's so awesome. I feel so honored. Thank you so much. Uh,
Mr. Goldfinger, please tell us what it's like to be famous. Go
I'm not
ahead.
famous.
Let's rock and roll here.
I'm not
What's it
famous.
like being recognized everywhere you go?
You know, there was a time I was on TV in Vegas. I had commercials. I bought and paid these commercials, very short commercials, 15-second, 30-second. I bought thousands of them at a time. It was cheaper to buy 1,000 30-second spots than it is to buy, 10 or 20. So I'd buy them on two different channels. I had jewelry stores, buy sell stores in Vegas. And it was a very bad idea.
Really?
Yes. So,
Because of the business. The
well,
people
because it
associating
attracted
you.
a lot of people that thought I was the devil.
Oh,
I
really?
had people break into my car, my house. I had to
Really?
hire security. I had someone that
Why did they think
planted
you were the devil? You
I
just
don't know.
promote
Like you
your
get
jewelry
crazy.
store.
I had someone that supposedly, but they didn't. I don't think they did. Planted a bomb in my jewelry store, and I had to call the police
Oh,
because they
no.
left a message.
Really?
I had messages in my car, hate messages on my car, left overnight. Tire slashed. I had a lot of problems. So there's a bad side of being famous. I don't
That's
I
why
don't.
they guess they have actors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actors have a big problem. Now I just bought my commercials. I was just wasn't national famous. I wasn't
Right, right, right.
even,
It's
yeah,
local.
yeah. But the thing is, everybody thought I was famous, and people constantly hounded me for money or a
Oh,
job, constantly. I had to get a second phone, okay,
yeah.
so that my own family, my close friends, can reach me.
Well, what
Because
about out here with your
I'm not famous out
with
here.
your? Well, you have a lot of people talk to
I
you.
have a lot of people that let me make it a little bit cooler. I have a lot of people that talk to me because I do a lot of things for the community. But
Sure.
this year, I've I've calmed down on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as much. I plan on doing some fans for the classroom this summer, but so far, I kind of dropped the contributions. Somebody at the door. I can't get it. Somebody's. I kind of dropped the requesting of contributions. I find that it could be a problem.
I
Uh,
told you that in the beginning.
yeah. So now it's just, I just tell people when I send them an ebook, hey, if you want to send me some money, or if you want to put it on the YouTube channel, that's fine. But I just use those funds for the kids.
Right.
But it dropped off considerably, so I don't have sufficient funds to do the fans. Now, maybe something will change. Everybody always comes to life at Christmas time.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. So I'll do something at Christmas time because I was funding it for 2 years,
Right.
25,000 pesos a month,
Right.
and I can't. It got so big, 25,000 pesos doesn't buy much.
Right.
When you do a school, it's several hundred thousand
Right.
pesos. Okay, so it got bigger than me, and that's why I started to look for people to help. We're
Right.
just going to call it help,
Right.
contribute. So I have plenty of people willing to help and show up and get the boxes open and pass them out. But the other part of the help is purchasing. That is a problem with that. It takes a lot of money. So it's kind of on a back burner for now. Um,
I hate dealing with other people's money.
and as I become more noticed, I have to be more careful here.
So you're doing a good job with the motorcycle. It's got your name all over it. Coated in gold. So it's
It's not my business.
it's
It's
not like
not my.
it's not like you can hide very well.
I did not
Yeah,
do that.
you're pretty easy to find.
Ay, ay, ay. I don't know how to
You know,
keep.
you need to be careful also
Why?
as to who you have over here. See, that would make me a little nervous. I know you have Carolyn's got the business out front,
Mm.
but that would make me a little bit nervous.
The crew I have over here.
No, just strangers coming over to rent bikes or whatnot.
Oh, yeah, it
You
doesn't
know,
really bother me. I like
no,
people.
I know you do, but it only takes one.
No,
You know,
I don't know. I like people. I
okay,
don't care.
all right,
You know, I'm passive. I'm not gonna
okay,
pick a fight.
okay.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Everybody I've met in Carolyn's business, and everyone I've met and introduced to, or showed them how to ride a scooter, are all typically older,
Uh,
nice guys
right.
from mostly the U.S. and Canada, but there's other countries I've met. I've gone from Poland, Russia, Germany, yeah, all over.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, they are
so
pretty soft.
they're all very nice.
Yeah.
They've been very friendly. We're missing our comments. Oh,
Sure.
where are we? Uh,
No issues with the cataracts.
okay, all good.
It's all good, man. Thanks for
Oh,
the
you're welcome to
ebook.
the ebook, Nathan.
Oh, there's Jack.
Yeah. Hey, there he
There's
is.
the Crab King.
Uh, I did. I said earlier I was.
What are the
I drank.
options
I had
on
decaf this
long-term
morning.
leases on land? You can lease land for a long term.
Now you can do
Yes.
50 and 100-year leases.
Mm-hmm.
They've been starting to cut back to 50 and 30, but you can do leases on land. This person, I think John wants to finally come to the Philippines. I think that's what he's saying. He got cut off. He hit send before he finished. He needed decoy. I want finally to the Philippines. There he is. But I'm just wondering, is it wheelchair accessible? Mostly, I would say. Would you say this?
I would say here it would be terrible. I
I don't.
think if you go to,
I see wheelchair accessible banks, restaurants.
yeah, but you're not just going to the bank or Robinsons. You know, yes, you're right. There's places that have it, but is it going to be wheelchair accessible to your house or
What do you
apartment?
think about
That's
Cebu
another
versus
question.
Tuba? Is
Well,
it
I was going
Cebu?
to say is I just did a little deal with Daryl, and we were talking about BGC and
Uh,
Makati,
oh,
and
very
those
nice area.
places are very, very wheelchair friendly. Sidewalks are good,
and they're a bargain right now.
and they're a bargain and a half.
Yes,
So
they
I
had
would
the
not recommend Dumagetti. I've never recommended it.
no,
Ask
not
Monty.
for a wheelchair.
Monty
He
uses
has
a
a hard time.
walker.
Okay.
He's like, I can't go here, I can't go there.
Well, definitely
Go
check
to
out
think about Lee
BGC.
Plaza for a second with all those stairs and
That's true.
escalators and
Oh yeah, Lee's
oh,
Plaza is ridiculous.
it's brutal.
Yeah.
Even just trying to get into well, Bo's Coffee. Well, they've got a wheelchair ramp.
The reason that BGC is so cheap right now, as I was being told, and I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but the Chinese hundreds of thousands have
Two
been
hundred twenty
deported.
thousand were booted.
Yeah. Were you telling me that? Might have been.
Possibly. I
And
said it on
we
the
talked about this about a week ago. I don't remember with who. But now with all these, all the people, the high rises, condos are empty, and
and they're
they're
building more.
well, they
So
can't
it's
stop them.
supply and demand, bro.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
it's what it is. And now there's a whole lot of supply
Yeah.
and not a whole lot of demand.
Right.
And they've cut the rates to 600 US
Yep.
dollars for a flat, for a nice flat in a high rise with, you have pools, you have gyms, you have, you know, game rooms, you have restaurants, bars.
Daryl told me he saw a penthouse
You know what? I think it
for
was Daryl.
$850
Yeah, it was Daryl. That's who told me.
with a
You're
wraparound
right.
balcony, and I mean that's the
Daryl
top.
Brown,
Yeah.
the expensive expat.
Expat.
Great
Right.
channel.
Right.
He's
He
doing
was
very
just on
well.
my channel. The last video that I did was
Yeah,
with
he
him,
was on mine. That's who told me.
and we talked about that very subject.
Yeah,
So anyone with a wheelchair or anything like that, you need
they're
to go
all.
to a much more modern city.
That's a very. He says a very
You're not a
modern
province guy.
and
That's not going
inexpensive.
to work. Dumagetti, I wouldn't recommend if you have a
You know,
wheelchair.
if I didn't just move in here, and if I wasn't with Carolyn and all this other stuff, and the bike rentals and all this other stuff, I would check out BGC. If I
It,
was free, I'm not free. I got roots now, but if I was just coming over, I definitely would want to look at
Me and I
BGC.
could check it out. I
Yeah,
mean, we
let me
would.
know.
We're going to go there. That's going to be
Do a
our
video
next.
on it, of course.
Oh, of course, but
Yeah.
we're going to go check it out. That's my next trip.
Um, you could hire someone to push your wheelchair, but that's
Absolutely.
yeah. You could have someone that take you around in a tuk tuk as well. Um, is that DJ says definitely not, but BGC in Manila
Yeah,
is still
there it
there.
is.
Yeah,
Exactly what I was
Ver-
saying.
I do agree to that. Um, yeah, come over here. You know, there's an advantage to being handicapped in the Philippines. Filipinas, this is why they use them for nurses in the U.S. prefer to help people that have handicaps. You get the nicest, down to earth women when you're handicapped. It's really strange, but I've noticed that. Um, let's see. Let's see the bills. They're not selling them for less money, Billy, but they've lowered the rent.
Yeah, the sales price they're not coming up.
They mentioned white privilege. Where is it? What experiences can you talk about on the subject? White privilege. Probably can't talk about it.
Do you think there's white privilege out here?
Definitely. But okay, I'll give you an example. I had a
Is it?
motorcycle accident real quick. Had a motorcycle accident. Two girls hit me. Witnesses saw the girls hit me. They made a U-turn on a one-way street. It was obvious their fault. He asked me, they insisted upon calling a cop because they knew they were in trouble. So they insisted upon calling a cop. Cop came as a, referee between them and me. A Filipino referee, two Filipino girls. He says to me, sir, do you have your driver's license? Do you have your registration? Never asked them for their driver's license registration. I noticed that. Okay, but I'm not gonna say anything because that would be, you
So how do
can't
you
be.
interpret that as privilege?
That's because they're the ones that hit me, but he wanted my
Yeah.
driver's license. So the feeling I got from that was he's checking to make sure I had a right to be on the road.
So you
Okay,
call that a privilege?
1 minute, wait a minute. So then, so then he goes, sir, they're in school. They can't afford to pay for the damages on your bike or me. I said, well, I understand that. I have full coverage. Okay, everything else. I says, I could take care of me, but they really need to pay for the bike because they damaged it. It's their fault. Sir, would you accept less? I think it's privileged. I think it's privileged treatment.
Okay.
And I accepted less because I saw they were young girls. And I said, well, they need to pay something because they caused the accident and they caused me damage and it's going to cost me money. So uh, I said, how about 2,000? They said, sir, they don't have 2,000. I said, will you take 500? I said, yeah, just give me 500. I just felt like they should pay something. I offered them to work it off at the house because I was doing a lot of work here, but they don't know me. They probably were scared or afraid. But I felt, okay, just pay 500. But I didn't want it to be scoffed. But the privilege was that they treated me, privileged treatment to the Filipinos.
Okay.
Now, what do you consider privilege? Or
I
do
don't
you?
really interpret the way they treated you as privileged.
Privileged
I thought
treatment.
it sounds like they didn't ask them for anything, so that was kind of like they let them off the hook. But they
Privileged
were
treatment.
grinding you for information.
Well, yeah.
And
They're trying to get,
who ended up paying for what?
I ended up paying
And,
2,000 for
and
2,000 out of
but
pocket.
didn't they cause the accident?
Yes.
So where's the privilege there?
The privilege there is that he was he was treating them differently than me.
Yeah,
He didn't ask them
it
driver's
sounds to me
license,
like
which,
they got the better end of the deal.
well, that's what I
So
consider
they were
privileged.
given, well, that's brown privilege. That's Filipino privilege,
Yeah, that's what I'm
correct?
talking about.
Okay,
Isn't that what he's
so
talking about?
now he's talking about you have your white privilege, like you're superior.
Oh, no, no,
You're
no. No, there's
misinterpreting the
no white
question.
privilege here.
Thank
No,
you.
no, no,
You
no.
were confusing me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought he meant, I took it the wrong way.
Yes, you did.
Okay. When he said, okay, no, Filipinos have privilege here. It's
Right.
the reverse.
Exactly.
And that's the way it's going to be in most countries. Okay.
Everybody watches out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I took it the wrong way. Uh,
Well, I'm here to straighten you out. That's all. That's why I kept questioning you.
no, there is no white privilege here. I see. I'm reading it a second
No,
time. I read it too fast.
no.
All right. Uh, Glenn says sounds not good. Well, I'm sorry. I can't fix that at the moment. We'll have to wait for the next time. Um, uh, John Hill has been fantasizing about. Now I have solely fully Filipino fetish. Okay, that's TMI. I just, whoops, I lost it.
Being
Oh,
treated differently. I've never seen myself as being better than others. No, they don't treat us better than others.
no, they don't treat us better than others.
Yeah.
Okay,
In fact, we're kind of a target. You know,
make the second screen bigger. I wouldn't know how to do
make
that.
the
Sorry.
screen bigger. There's nothing stuck in it.
I don't know. One wants a louder sound.
See,
Another
I'm the
one
one
wants
that
the
had the
screen bigger.
cataract surgery. That's why I should read the comments.
Yeah, I
Told you
got
it's really
that
the
now,
opposite of white
DJ.
privilege. You're
Uh,
discriminating against.
yeah,
Thank you, DJ Sweet Daddy. That was
yeah,
for
I got
making
it
my
now.
point for me. Glad to see someone's paying attention.
Okay, be mean. Okay, pick on me. So anyway, so that you're
We
waiting
got
on.
85 likes, pal. You need 100 likes. I'm not leaving till you get 100
I'm
likes.
gonna leave
That's
it to
all
let
there
it
is
like
to it.
127 people concurrently
Yeah.
watching. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that.
And you got a member.
And I got a member.
So
I got a
this
membership.
is like rocking right here. This is what it's all about.
I'm rocking now.
Yeah, man.
I'm on my way.
Oh, you're there.
Stardom. People think I'm a star. Oh my God. Don't go there.
I won't.
You're not going to. Don't watch my channel, by the
Don't.
way.
Any more than you watch mine.
That's I once in a while I do. If something interesting or somebody interesting, I might. Once in a while. Okay. Um.
Yeah, see, 10 years ago, I was in Thailand and I had a great time. However, I was scammed and had my motorcycle blowing up by a local game. That's my life savings. Whew, that's a hardcore
What kind of
problem.
bands and concerts are there
Anyone that knows
here?
how to hit the like button, see there? That way go, Dolphin. You got it. Bend at the knees and hydrate. We don't want any injuries here.
What kind of
You need
entertainment would
8
you
more
say?
likes.
8 more like. What kind of entertainment do you think we get here?
I've never heard you guys talk about entertainment. Okay. Well, we have each other. What kind
Yeah,
of
there's lots of
bands
drama in
or
New Beginning.
concerts
Drama
or
Beginning.
anything like that to attend? Yeah, the local little places will
Yeah.
have bands,
Yeah.
and
They do rock and roll. Yeah, pretty much.
you rock and roll. Some are expat bands. Some of them are
Right.
Filipino bands. Some are a
They have
mixture.
clubs. You
And
go
they
to
got,
clubs.
well, what club? They got
Well,
the,
there's besides
they got the tiki bar,
yeah.
and why not? That's the
The
only
Why Not
club I
is
know
a
about.
club.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's an old club,
it's
but
like
there are
a,
some new ones in
boy,
North.
talk about a walk back in time, huh?
Yeah,
It's like a 70s disco in
it's
there.
an old style club,
Way
way
old
back.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have some new clubs that opened up in North Point, which
Oh, do
is
they?
yeah, they have
See
some
how
new
out of the
clubs.
loop I am? I don't
North
go out
Point's
at night,
grown a
bro.
lot. It's the up and coming area to get
But
food
I
and
didn't know they had
entertainment.
clubs like at nighttime.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they have several.
Oh,
They have a karaoke club. They
Okay,
have
yeah,
a
pass on that.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Jeez.
it's for mostly for you know who likes that is the Koreans. The Koreans like karaoke,
Okay.
and so they open it up. It's really actually a Korean
So there really is sort of kind of. There's some clubs here,
something.
but
Do they
it's
have a
not a
bowling
club
alley?
town.
No, they don't have a bowling alley.
No,
They have one theater that I know of
yeah,
in Robinson's.
Robinson. No, they got two.
They had
There's
where's
one at the other mall. What's it called?
City Mall?
City Mall. Yeah, it has a theater.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I never knew that. I've
Yep,
been there several times. I never knew they had
yep.
a.
It's got a movie theater.
They do?
Promise.
Okay.
Honest engine.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
99 likes, Daddy. You're one away.
Come on, guys. Um, well, we can't talk about prostitution, John. So, uh, yes, you can bring your dog. In fact, a guy just sent me an information about doing it, and he's bringing a second dog. So I'm going to add that to the ebook. But there is information in the ebook I have. Goldfinger the Goldman 3 at gmail.com. Goldfinger the Goldman 3 at gmail.com. So it tells you about how to bring a dog, and he's going to send me an update too because he's bringing another dog. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Justin.
How you doing, guy? Uh, anyway, yeah, cool your jets. Yeah, you know,
John Hill,
honestly,
that's kind of a really inappropriate question.
it's very inappropriate.
How much is the girl where you're at, John?
Yeah,
You know,
come on.
give me, how
Y-
much for.
Yeah, don't come here if that's what all you want. If that's what you want, don't
Nah,
come.
he's being snarky.
Well, 15 bucks. I don't know. What's 15 bucks? Is
What does
that the?
15 bucks mean?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe he's answering.
Oh,
Do
oh,
they have
no.
an ambulance service in Jimmy area? I think a pickup truck came from Mark Thornton with no oxygen. Um,
Yes, they have ambulances,
they
but
do
not
have
an ambulance
ambulances,
service that I know of. They have ambulances from the hospitals.
right? They have
They
a
don't have
free one in
private.
Valencia.
They have what?
They have a free one. They have a free clinic and a
Really?
free ambulance ride
Oh,
up
wow.
across from the fire
No,
station.
Valencia is growing quite a bit.
Valencia
Valencia
is
is
really
very
busting a
popular.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to grow faster than any other area than
absolutely.
Dumaguete.
It's cooler,
It's
it's
for
cleaner,
homes,
it's
for
more modern.
yeah, for
It's got
private homes.
and they're starting to get some businesses up there. Still lacking on the restaurants.
Yeah,
Still lacking there for really,
but
you
they're
know,
building and they're building
yeah.
nice.
But there's a
I don't
gym up
remember the
there. I
name
always
of it.
said anybody open a gym up here is going to make a killing. And sure
They have a
enough,
gym, yeah,
yeah,
and they're
and he's
busy.
expanded.
Yeah,
And I said, he's making a killing.
yeah.
And
People
because
from
there are
Dumaguete
guys
go to
that
Valencia.
love to work out. I get it. They're gym rats. They're
Right.
watching their health. They like to
That's
work
good.
out and get healthy. It's like more power to them.
Yeah,
But I said anybody who open one up here in Valencia will make a killing. I said that
they
5
did.
years ago
They
because
did.
guys were packing down in Dumaguete and you couldn't get into the gym. It was so busy.
Yeah, they're pulling
You
from
know?
Dumaguete quite a bit.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
big time.
many of the expats are right up there for the
The
gym.
Sunday market is not flooded with expats, but it's flooded with Filipinos.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And it's just wow.
It's
It
crowded. It's
turned from like a dozen of us with 3 tents where we could go get a Hungarian sausage.
yeah, yeah,
That was the good old days, right?
right.
5 years ago.
I used to hang out there for hours. I got to get out of there by 10 o'clock.
Now I don't even go. There's nowhere
It's
to park.
there is it's you got to go at
6
7
o'clock.
a.m.
Yeah, you got to get there
And
about
if you go at
6.
6 to 7 a.m., you might find you'll get a parking spot and you'll be able to go to some of the vendors.
Yeah,
But literally by 8 o'clock, there's already lines.
absolutely.
Um, I like the
And it's a place to see and be seen for the Filipinos. It's not flooded with expats,
not
that's
too
for sure.
much. I like the Vietnamese sandwiches.
Love them.
What do they call them? Bang ai,
Yeah,
ban ai,
bon eye or something like
bani.
that.
Yeah,
It's funny.
those
I
are
went to
good.
Vietnam, but
Those
anyway.
don't talk about food. I haven't eaten.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Uh, have you renewed your passport there? I have two friends that did recently. We talked about it. The Jack and Joe, both did it, and it's they used JRC. JRC charged about $100 to get the new passport for the USA passport, and it had to go to Manila and get sent back. Then the problem is you have to transfer all the stamps. So they have to pay 7,000 pesos, so another about $150 roughly, another $150 US to get the stamps transferred from the old passport to the new passport because you have to have the entry stamp on your new passport into the Philippines in order to get a visa extension. They won't take the old passport. Isn't that crazy? So it ends up costing you 250, and then there's some other fees involved too. So I'll figure about 300 US dollars to get a passport done here. But it can't get done. You have fines because it takes 2 months, a little over 2 months to get it all done, and they only have 2 months visa, so you'll be late on renewal. So they'll charge you another 1,000 pesos for that. Oh, thank you, appreciate that. He's a can of beans. Uh, the Peter Wilson guy did send me again, and I ended up blocking him. The stories started getting crazy,
Oh, that guy.
just like Mike Williams' stories, but it was
Oh,
worse.
that dude, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They
You
started getting
remember?
way, way out there. The first one was funny.
It was hilarious.
The first one was hysterical,
Yeah,
and because it was so far out there, and it was just enough to say, "Is this guy real or is he not?" And then once he started doing 2 or 3 different letters after that, it was really silly.
Nathan's asking about generators, and I'd like to get one. Paul got one.
I used mine this
Do you
morning.
know? You know what size it is?
Yeah.
Is it a gas? It's a gas generator.
Yes. I ran it
So
for 4 hours this morning for the first time.
good, and it
We
ran
had a
okay.
blackout at brownout, whatever you want to call
They've
it,
been
at
kind of often lately.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I went outside for the very first time, plugged that puppy in, and did first time operating it. It was easy as pie. The guy that installed it made it real simple
Oh, good.
for me to understand. And then, believe it or not, it ran out of gas
Oh,
because I forgot to buy gas. Remember, we were talking about that
you got the
last
gas
time.
can. You didn't
Got
get
the
the
gas
gas?
can, but I didn't buy the gas. So it was interesting because it ran from 2 to 6. It pooped out a gas, which is fine. And at 6:30, the lights came back on.
Oh, so that was
So
too
it was
bad.
it was cool. But every time we have a brownout or a blackout, whatever you want to call it, um, I can't stay asleep. I wake up
Yeah, and I have the
and
same
they
problem.
fire. That's why I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning.
Oh, bummer.
And people wonder why don't you go out at night? Because I've been up
So
for
you got to let
18
me know what
hours.
size generator is and what you paid
Yeah,
for
I,
it
I
and how
got a
much it
picture
costs.
of it. And well, I bought it half price.
I understand, but you bought it used, but you got it half price. That's fine. How
But
much did you pay?
70,000 would run this. The one I've got would run your house,
Really? It's a big
and it
one.
would run all your air cons.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's a pretty good size.
Yeah, I'll either send you a picture of
Send me
it
a
or
picture of it. I'm curious.
and that's and you'll
I started
it's
looking. I started going shopping for generators.
okay.
But the question was, do they have tri-fuel generators
I
there?
don't know what that is.
What runs on diesel, gasoline, or LP?
No,
I
mine
have
just
not
runs on gas, so I don't know if they've got
gas or
any.
diesel. You can get diesel generators.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
They're a little noisier, but you can get them.
yeah.
Tri? No, they don't have tri here.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. I wouldn't know how they would do that either. Totally different engine, as I thought. Um, let's see. Goldfinger, that would have made one hell of a video. Two girls in your yard pulling weeds and painting a fence for restitution. I don't do outdoor videos. I just do studio stuff. So we'd have to call Paul over and he could videotape that with baby May. Uh, we're not going to go into politics. Uh, I saw John, expat John. Uh, he is here. I saw him at Hypermart with his two daughters. You know which John? The John that was on your channel.
Yeah.
And I saw him. He looked very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He looked very happy. He's not with his wife, he said,
Correct.
but he did have the daughters for the day. That was
Right.
Easter Sunday, actually. I saw
Right.
him.
Well, the
Nice.
question is, did John ever make it back to the Philippines? Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And he's better prepared, definitely.
Yeah.
He's not, I won't go too deep into it, but I can tell you that mission accomplished because John is now receiving a monthly income as opposed to trying to live off of a finite amount of money that he brought with him,
So
which was
he
ridiculous.
waited
But
for his retirement
yeah, he waited till
and
Social
he must have got
Security.
it.
So he went back to America. He worked for about a year and a half
Yeah.
and saved a lot of money. I mean, he did a good job.
Good.
Um,
He learned.
well, no, when he got here, he
He
kind of
did.
fell into the same pattern as
No.
before. But the good news is, without going into a lot of, John's cool, but John's had 3 strokes.
Has he
So,
really?
yeah,
I,
yeah. So I always give John a pass when he
okay.
does something goofy. But him and I had coffee about 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and he was telling me some stuff that I'll just keep, under the radar. but he's always got a check. You know, that's what I've
That's
always
what's
told.
the
That's
most
what I always
important.
told myself
Yeah.
when I moved out here. I said I've always got X amount of dollars coming in. Two things will never happen to me. I will never be homeless, and I will never go hungry. And after that, you kind of got life by the tail, don't you? When you got you know,
Well, a
you
lot
can
of guys come
say,
over here and they want to
I
start
got
a
a place
business.
to lay down every night. And there's people that can't say that. You know, they're in a position where they're
A lot of guys come here and go, "What can I do for an income?" Well,
right,
some of them open a restaurant.
right,
It's tough.
right.
Not all of them make it. Um, there was different things. I kind of was thinking, like, what happens if Social Security stops? What am I going to do? Okay, and I've created a life here. I have a fiance. You have a wife. I mean, what happens?
Well,
And
um, you could flip it over and say, what would you do in America if Social Security stopped? That's what you were living on.
even
You'd
with
be in
Social
worse shape.
worship, yeah.
Yeah. So what would
So
I do? Um, May and I are very frugal. We're very good at saving. So I could probably run on 5 or 6 years just off savings, but that's going to exhaust. That's
yeah.
not the answer. For the short term, I would do that until it got fixed. But eventually, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what there's millions of people that rely on Social Security solely. So what would they do? I
Well, that
can
was
see
my
us taking
concern.
a haircut in 7 years if they don't fix it of 25%.
Yeah. Oh,
So
really?
yeah, yeah, that's just the math.
I hope they
If
fix it.
they don't fix it, and there's ways to fix it
Yeah.
that would fix it tomorrow, but they don't do it. Um, and that's removing the cap off the FICA for one thing, and just instead, I think it's at 176,000. We'll just remove it. And
Okay.
they say, the experts say, whoever they are, that that would fix the problem.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, um, what would you do? I don't think about stuff like that. I don't think about nuclear war tomorrow.
Well, that's
I
the
don't
what
think
ifs
about
go on
another
forever.
pandemic. I mean, we could sit here and pontificate about, all these nightmare scenarios. I got better things to do.
Dan Dreams had a question for you right here.
Okay. I heard Paul was an avid reader. If so, does Paul have any book recommendations? I was a nonstop reader when I was a kid and a young guy. And my reading stopped as soon as my first kid was born.
Yeah.
Life took over. So those little quiet moments stopped. And I thought I would be an avid reader over here, and I'm not. I don't know what it is. Um, I don't know why.
Here's Alan. He came to the Philippines. He doesn't say how long ago, but he's investing into Blue Eddy solar generators.
Never heard of it.
Well, I don't know. Is it? You got to tell us where that is, and you can do a plug. You tell us where that is and how long how long you've been doing it for. Um, do expats own any boats or ever go boating?
Yeah.
Uh, I
Tambobo
person
Bay is a big place where guys park their boats.
Boho.
Tambobo Bay.
Oh,
It's called Tambobo Bay.
where is that?
It's about an hour outside of Dumaguete.
Okay, I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So yes, I guess they
And
do.
then you can ask Justin. I mean, he's got a boat.
All right.
And
Well,
there's
he's running
guys
it
here
for
with the
business
dive
though.
resorts have got boats.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
All the diving resorts.
is there a lot of recreational boating like speedboats? I don't see that. It's mostly
Not here.
utilitarian, a little bit of fishing,
Yeah.
you know.
Hello, Matt. He's calling from. He's chatting from Idaho. Uh, yeah, we know that, but I don't think they have tri fuel gas generators here. Uh, so someone has a question already for you on solar. Let's see.
Who's the old ugly guy?
Who is that old
That's
ugly
me. That would be me.
guy? So we can put you on timeout.
No,
No, you don't mind.
love this guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I need to get a generator, and I'm actually looking for diesel because I figured in my mind, and I could be wrong, but the diesel running in oil would run smoother and longer than on gas. Gas goes bad. You have to add additives to gas that you lose the octane, and then if you don't run it, the gas in the carburetor, if they still have carburetors, I don't know. Now they have fuel injection, but the gas in the carburetor in the old days would dry out, and you'd have a plugged fuel line or a sticky. When gas dries out, it becomes sticky, so it would stick the float. Other problems. Now I don't know if fuel injection took care of that or not, but in the old days, you had to run things. You can't let gas go bad. You have to drain your generator or drain your motorbike. Okay, anything that runs in oil will last longer.
Yeah.
I did find a diesel one at City Hardware, but City Hardware is retail, and it was around 70,000 pesos. It would run the whole house,
Yeah,
brand new.
that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
Gas, diesel, I don't have a preference. I know the gas is a little quieter, but
It is.
that boy was loud. You
Yeah,
know,
but
he
I can
was,
make it soundproof. Like my
but
water
I could
pump.
cover it, and I could
Yeah, you
do
can
a few
cover it with
things
foam. Yeah,
to mute it.
mute it. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
use
I
foam
haven't
and
done
make
it
a
yet.
box
Yeah, make a box.
with the
Yeah,
air holes and stuff like that,
yeah,
with a baffle.
right.
Because that's what I had to do with my water pump. My water pump was noisy as
Really,
hell. You don't hear it because I made a box for it and put this
this
crazy
stuff.
black stuff all over
Yeah,
on the inside. You don't hear it at all anymore. Okay, but before the box there, you couldn't have a conversation on my porch every time that pump would go on. It was, I don't know why, and I thought it was broken. Is it broken? What's going wrong? And then, oh, that's the normal noise. So whatever. Okay. Um. So let's see.
there are many
Just
large women.
he was just messing with you.
Yeah,
Are
I
there
know the word. That's all
are there
good.
many large women here?
Yes. Yes, there's a fair share of large women here. I will definitely say yes.
A few younger ones, but mostly I think in the older age.
I would agree.
Yeah, a few on
But
the
I,
younger age.
not every Filipina is some walking little stick of a beauty. I think that's a misnomer.
There's just
I see
an
a lot.
abundance.
There's a really a lousy diet out here.
Well, of course,
I
it's
mean, when I
fried sugar,
landed, it was like, "Eesh."
everything's.
There's bread camp. There's Dunkin' Donut. I asked my wife yesterday, "Did you eat?" She goes, "Yeah, I had a donut."
Yeah,
You know, how do you do that?
they have a lot of bakeries
Oh, all
all
over the
over,
place.
all over,
Sans Rival.
and sugar.
You know, it's really tough for a guy like me with a sweet tooth.
Yeah,
I've done a pretty good job of denial and all that stuff. Um, but they have the cheesecake and chocolate cake, and it just looks delicious when you're walking by it. And you think, hey man, I'll just stop in here, take a break, have a cup of coffee, a piece of cheesecake. Real easy to do.
I'm gonna I'm gonna mark down. Yeah, oh, it's I have to stay away from the sweets because I'm borderline diabetic. I got to take a picture of this because he's talking about a type of a generator that is up in, I think he said Cebu, and a
This gentleman says that
blue eddy.
diesel will last longer and store longer than gas. So that's
Yeah,
pretty much your line of thinking.
that's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Alan says he's
In
been here
28
for
months.
28 months. Sorry,
Married for 27 months.
you didn't
Wow.
take long, did you?
Well, he jumped right
Why'd you wait?
in.
Why'd you wait so long?
Yeah.
There's a lot of girls here. You didn't have to take the first one that fell in love with you. There's you walk down the street,
What
you'll
are you
have
talking
10.
about first one? She was the 30th.
Right?
He waited
No, but
30 days.
seriously, there's a lot of girls here. That's the thing is, it's really you're spoiled here, okay, as far as female company, because all the young girls in their upbringing have been, I'm going to say, trained, told to, or looked for a foreigner in the older age.
I disagree.
You disagree with that? No, I think the families do tell them that. Okay.
When you say the word all,
Well, not
I
all,
really
both,
got to
quite a few,
disagree with you.
especially province girls.
If you look at some street interviews or talk to them in person, it's not normal, number one, for a 19-year-old to be attracted to a 65-year-old.
Well,
It's just biologically wrong. It just is. Um, However, you can say that they've been encouraged by their families to
hey,
find
encouraged.
someone that
They're
is
encouraged to go
wealthier.
make money for the family.
Sure,
Some of them go
sure,
to Cebu or Manila and end up in clubs.
sure.
And in the
But who
clubs,
wants to be with that girl? Not me.
no, nobody. But the
Not
thing
me.
is, they're encouraged by the family to get out and make money. They
Yeah.
don't want girls at home. They want guys at home because
Mm.
the boys work hard physically in the farms, uh, doing the coconuts, the sugar cane, whatever it might be, or the oxen. But they encourage the young girls to go out and find money and send it back home.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. They encourage girls to find a way of making money. One of the ways is finding a expat. And the only expats that normally was over here, say 10 years ago or before, were older expats. That's not so true anymore.
No, now there's more options for these girls.
Yeah, now there's more options because
And this cell phone
right,
is a big option.
and that's
They don't
also
even
the
have to leave the
next.
house to meet a foreigner
Yeah, cell
and make
phones
money.
weren't abundant as they were. Say, you were here. How
I
many
was here
years?
before them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't an abundance of cell phones. They didn't have cell phone towers. They didn't have options. They didn't have internet. So they
You
were
had to
very
go to
limited.
an internet shop.
They had to go to yeah, an internet store or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Cafe.
cafe.
So there were a lot more women running around doing just what you're talking about 8 years ago.
You have a limit of 10,000 value. Yeah, 10K to come into the U.S. lane. Uh, so I would not strongly not recommend bringing gold or silver here.
No.
Uh, it's not as easily sellable or tradable here. Leave it in a safety deposit box in the country that you're at. Um, and then he says with Bingo says with gas and typically you want to use some fuel and ethanol additive. Yeah, ethanol, that's what it's called. Because they get water. The ethanol actually turns the fuel burnable. It'll mix with the water and allow it to be burnable. That's what I had a problem with when I had a boat. If you let a gas engine boat, sit for several days because of the moisture and the condensation, you get water in your fuel. So on a regular basis, you had to add ethanol to a boat, a fuel tank, so that the water would burn. Otherwise, it just puts out.
What if I fire this thing up once a week or something? Does that
If you
help or
use
no?
fresh gas, you fire it up once a week, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Because like I
it'll
said,
burn up
I
a
just
little bit of
burned out.
water.
I just burned through all the gas that was in it,
So you're gonna have
and it
fresh
ran for
gas.
4 years. I mean,
Just
4 hours.
once a week, kick it on for an hour or half an hour. Just get
Yeah,
it warm.
that's what I
Yeah,
figured.
you'll be fine if you do that. Uh, okay. We're moving down. Here's a question. Here's a
Got a
question for
question
you.
for you. Do you think having 50K and coming over for a long stay is a good idea? Still too young and poor to retire. Well, that sounds like John.
Yeah, that's what
John
comes to
came with
mind.
40.
He keeps 30 or 40. Yeah.
He came for a long stay. So
When you
what you're
say
going
a
to do
long
is you're going to
stay,
take a long vacation. What's the definition of long?
yeah.
You
I mean, you
know,
could do that's fine for a year or
you could,
two.
well, yeah, but then you're out, you're 50
But
and you haven't
at
worked.
what point do you retire?
So
Maybe he's getting
I would
retirement in
say
a
take
year.
a 1 month vacation if they'll let you.
When people come over here and they want to check out the Philippines, I usually tell them 3 months. I know that's not easy, but
No.
you really don't know the Philippines in a month.
Mhm.
So 3 months.
It's a very, very complex way to try to approach it.
Yeah.
There's really no inexpensive, easy way to come check out the Philippines. And we say it, oh, you should visit before you move here, but that's easier said than done,
It's
isn't
not
it?
easy,
Yeah,
not for 3 months. I
no.
understand that. Uh,
If you're working, I mean,
so let's see. Draining a carb should be easy for you with all the scooters you rent out. Maybe the scooters are all. Well,
there are
I only
exceptions.
have fuel injected scooters for one thing, and I don't think you have to drain. There's no carburetors, but my scooters turn over a lot, so I don't have to worry about it. A generator might sit for months. You don't want to. You want the fuel in the
Correct.
generator sitting for months.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's always something.
So the answer on the 50K was probably not a good idea.
Yeah, not
How
a good
far away
idea.
are you from retiring? Consider that.
Yeah,
If you're a year away, you'll be fine. You know,
right.
but then of course you have to collect Social Security.
And you don't want to follow from here.
Right. So you'll
You
plan
know,
on you're
it's
gonna have
all
to go
these little
home. You're gonna
components
have
that
to
you
go
got to
home
look at.
regardless.
So
If an
I
expat
wouldn't advise anybody to come over here and just blow through 50K
no, it's not a good idea.
unless you're just at your wit's end. You
You
know,
can't take it anymore.
can't take it
Take a
anymore.
vacation.
Take a
Come here for a
vacation.
vacation.
Yeah, I did that. I did it. I did it in Thailand back when I was at my wit's end. That was a long time ago.
So Nathan asks if an expat moves here, would it be unusual to get involved in the community? If one wanted to be a contributing member of the neighborhood, what would you do to get that going? Well, I did that for 2 years. Bud Brown did flip
Sure.
flops,
Well, you do
sandals.
what comes to my mind. You would do it as an individual first,
Yeah.
and then you can, as you make friends, you can just let them know what you're doing, and you
And
never
you'll
want to ask people to help you, but you want people to say, "I would like to join you on that."
yeah.
You
And
know,
that's what
like
happened
Bud
with me.
Brown on his channel used to set an example, and I used to go out and never broadcasted it, but he bought all those flip flops.
Right.
And so I made it a habit to go out and buy 50 flip flops. And then when I would see kids, I would give them flip flops.
A lot of people
But I
do
didn't have a
rice.
YouTube channel, so I didn't show people me doing that.
There's a lot of expats that
And
buy bags of rice.
we would go and sponsor kids and send them. Every time I went to McDonald's, I would order a couple of Jollibee. I mean, not Jollibee, but a couple of McDonald burgers,
Right.
those little burgers, and I give them to the kids outside. So,
Yeah, I bought
you
when I
can,
first got
there's
here,
things
I
you can
bought
do.
burgers for kids.
Yeah,
They were hungry. They had their hand out for money.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said, "I'll buy you food."
Right,
So I bought them
right,
inexpensive burgers. They were 40, 30 or 40 peso burgers
right. That's
on
what I'm
Rizal.
talking about. Something on their stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, your communication style. Thank you for putting it. Well, thank you, Eric. We enjoyed doing it. Here, you read one of the others. Here's another generator one. Have a 25K. That's a big generator, diesel generator, 4 cycle rating, 45-gallon tank with 4 days cost from 3,000 USD, 3,000 USD for the generator, I guess, and it powers 2 houses and an office, and I've used it for 4 years for brownouts. 900 hours on the clock. So that's 25 kW is a big generator. But
That's
again, he's
pretty
using
good.
it for 2 houses and a business. But he got it from China, so I understand it. I don't think I need anything that big, but thank you for the um, comparison.
Wonder where can I buy these fuel additives at, and how often do I? I'll just have to research it.
Check the hardware stores.
I'll just ask
You could
ChatGPT.
order on Lazada. Do you ever buy from Shopee or
Yeah, yeah,
Lazada?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure they have it on
My
Lazada. They have
father does too.
everything
So
on
yeah, they
Lazada.
have everything on there.
Yeah. Um, Gasoline you can buy almost anywhere, but you need to add fuel additives. Yeah, we covered that.
What time did we go on? 10 o'clock.
It's been over an hour. Yeah,
All
10. It's
right.
been an hour and a half. Uh, thank you,
Thank you,
Alan.
Alan.
Guys, we're gonna probably knock it off soon. I think I usually go 2 hours by myself, but I know Paul's getting yancy. He has things to do.
I
I
have to
have
go to the lawyer.
you have to go to the lawyer. I have a guy coming over, but not till after lunch. Uh,
You're not eating lunch.
to get a bike. I'm not eating lunch, but I said after lunch, but I don't get to eat it after 12. No, I don't eat. I'm hungry, but I'm not horribly hungry.
Well, I can hang for a while. That's
Okay.
good. You got 140 people in the room, so
Okay, 30 minutes. Don't
you got
worry.
114 concurrent. You got 114 likes.
The look says chat revenue is still zero. Nobody will give me $1.
No,
Come on, guys. Who's gonna be the first person that gives me? I don't. Can they donate $1? I don't even
yeah,
know.
I
You
think
can't.
no. Maybe they can't.
Maybe they can't. Is
No,
there a
you may
$5
not. You
minimum?
may not. No, 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 no. You're missing my
The
point.
super thing.
There's a dollar thing that
Yeah,
comes up, and you have to enable that somewhere.
it's enabled.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on the
Um,
live, but it's
but
enabled.
it may not work until your monetization thing goes through.
Really?
I don't know.
I think
I'm.
I'm gonna look up my own. I'm
Well,
gonna.
don't do it while you're online
Not.
right
I'm going to
now.
my own.
Come on. Good Lord.
I want to see.
I should pull my phone out and send you $1, see if it works.
$1.
Says I shut you
Look at,
up.
hey, look at this guy
Hey,
named
hey,
Paul sent
hey,
me a
hey.
dollar. Oh, you're funny. So yeah, I'm curious.
Have a great day, Alan.
Read a couple of the comments.
There you go. You got $2.
Can
Now,
I get $2?
there you go. There you go.
My first
There you go. I stand
muttering.
corrected. So take a picture of that.
You know what? I do need to take a picture
You
of
need
that.
to take a
That's my
picture of
first.
that.
I'm
That's your
gonna
first
put
two
that up.
bucks. He just doubled your income.
I'm taking a picture of it, muttering. I'm gonna put that up there and show my wife. See, I got it. Thank you very much. You have a great day. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys rule, he says. I got a
Uh-oh, you
10.
got $10.
Whoa! Wait a minute, I'm taking another picture. Come on, muttering. There's now. Do I hear 11? Do I hear 12? Here, 11, 12. I got 10. Do I hear 11 or 12? I'll be an auctioneer.
Yeah.
We'll boost this up. Got a picture of that one. Wow, that's awesome. That's my first donation ever.
There you go.
I
You
got
got
another
it.
dollar.
No, see,
Thanks,
David
David.
beat me to it. I
Wow.
was going to send you a buck. I was pulling my phone out to do
Don't
it.
stop. I
Okay.
do it. Do it.
No,
So,
you
Paul,
send
I
me
want.
one.
Oh, awesome. I do every month. I'm on the 99 cent club.
Oh, no, you're not. Your
Yes,
credit card got turned down.
I was on the 99
Okay, he's
cent club.
backpedaling on me now.
Well, I was until my card
Okay,
got
you
canned.
were.
I'll go back on. I like being on the 99 cent with you. I
All
do.
right, I just did a
I
99
did
cent one.
3 or 4 months. I know,
Yeah,
but you only do about one video a month.
yeah. Well, this is worth 13 videos right
Okay.
there.
Well,
You just made 13 videos.
you better entice me. You gotta.
I only charge 99 cents
I'm Jewish.
to
Send me
be
a dollar.
okay, yeah. When I get home.
When you get I
Ah,
got five from
Zach
Zach.
sent you
Dude, you
5.
guys rock. I'm taking a picture of this. Quill's gonna be freaked out. I got
And they're all
four in a
right in a
row.
row.
I'm
Yeah.
taking a picture, guys. Got it.
All right. Good job.
Carolyn's gonna go crazy. Let's show her this. That's it's the thank you very much. I this will be a good memory. I'm gonna make a I think I'm gonna make a picture of this and put it on my wall to remind me how I started. Uh,
So what'd you make? 10, 12, 13, 18 bucks.
wow.
Hey, you know what the bad news is?
I can't get it.
Google takes half.
Uh,
Uh,
Google, no, Dale. Zoom or Google? That's the Google thing. I thought it was YouTube. I thought it was a YouTube thing.
well, I say Google. Google owns it,
Oh,
but YouTube takes.
they take half. I thought they take only 30%. They suck, guys.
Maybe it is 30% on this. I don't know.
I thought it was 30. Uh,
It might be 30%.
Harrisonburg,
Yeah, it is.
Louisiana,
It's
Martin.
45% of your ad money they take, and 30% of this. You're right.
Oh, it's a different percentage on ad
Hmm.
money. Oh, I signed up for everything.
Right.
I mean, naturally,
Sure.
I'm Jewish.
Of course.
So, uh, you're in the field supposed to ask with one hand extended. Yeah, that's true,
Yeah,
Rodney.
you're in the money. David
You're in the
Price, you're
money.
in the
I'm
money.
in the money. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. I'm
Right in a row.
I like the little cat
Yeah,
that he has
YouTube
here.
takes
How
30%.
did I
He's
get
right.
pictures on it? That's kind of interesting. Thanks, Zach. Uh, yeah, YouTube takes 30%. That's okay. I'm still
Your
I'm still
voice
15.
improved. You got the money. Your voice improved. That perked you right up.
True. It perked me up. I was falling asleep. I need a cup of coffee.
He was hungry.
I am hungry. I need a cup of coffee, and all I have here is water.
Oh, poor baby.
And then, of course, if I drink a lot of it, I'm going to have to go to
There you go. You got another $5.
You're awesome,
See?
Mike.
You keep the stuff. Chat revenue
Well, we can't
22.99.
quit now.
Check it out.
I'm making money.
22.99.
I'm making money now.
Yeah. You got
Can't-
121 likes. You got 126 people in the
Thank
room.
you, Paul.
Rock and
When I
roll.
when I do my own lives, I only did a short one on Monday, but when I do my own lives, I don't hit 100. I
Oh, you
hit
don't.
70, 80. I don't
Yeah.
ever hit 100.
Yeah.
I wasn't into it this Monday. I was kind of tired.
Well, I wasn't into it this week. Hey, I think you got more money. No? Oh, hey,
Let's see.
Goldfinger. You ever do a story about your life and getting into gold?
Well, I was born into gold. I definitely had uh, I was just born into it. My dad's dad was a watchmaker. My dad started the gold purchasing from people and recycling it, and then we together we opened a refinery. So I was pretty much born into it. He did that when I was still in junior high or high school. Let's see, 1970. I started working for him. So I started working for him before I graduated. I think I graduated. What year did you graduate? 74?
73.
73. So I graduated 74 then, right? I'll be a year later. So I started in 1970 in the gold refining business. But we didn't really have all we did at that time, we used to just melt it and then send it to a refiner. Later on, I think around 75, 76, we started actually opening up a refinery with my dad. And I loved helping him. So anyway, that's another. I'll do that on a personal chat. It's a long story. Um,
Old dog, you could do live. I go live about once every 2 months.
how long did yours last?
Couple hours usually.
2 hours.
Yeah,
You had one.
one time I went 6.5
I
hours.
remember that.
Remember that?
And I said to you, Paul, I love you, but I'm not watching your live for the 6 hours that you've been on there. And you go, I don't blame you. Why? What made you say 6 hours? Did you have to pee? I mean, come
Well, I
on.
had May stand in for me when I went to go pee.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I had May with me, and then I looked to my right and she's gone. And it's like I needed to use the restroom again, right? And she's in the friggin' bedroom sleeping.
Oh,
She's just on board with the bed.
I was a
And
truck driver. You know what
yeah,
you
yeah.
got to do as a truck driver when you have to pee?
But,
You don't pull off. You only make money when the wheels turn, and you're only
right.
allowed to let those wheels turn for so long. You're on a limited time
Well, I
basis.
can guess. So let's not talk about
Yeah, but that's what they have to do.
it.
That's what
Yeah.
truck drivers do. They have a gallon bottle next to them.
Yeah. The
They have no
reason I
choice.
stayed on 6.5 hours is I opened my big mouth and I said, I'm not going to leave until I answer comments because I always leave 50 comments hanging, and I always feel really guilty about it when I don't answer comments. It's rude.
Okay, it's true.
People are talking to you.
It's
You should
true.
answer their question or whatever.
It's that
So
need
I said, I
coffee
don't want
money.
to be
So,
rude, and people get upset, and I don't blame them. And they're tuning into me. I should give them the same respect.
is your lives now longer or busier? How do you answer
Well, I
all the?
haven't been live in 2 months.
Okay, I mean you're
So
at 100,000 plus.
no, no,
Okay,
no, no, no. It has nothing to do with it.
doesn't? You
No,
don't
no,
think
no, no,
so?
no. The reason I'm going to go live soon is because I have something to say.
Okay,
And that is with the Social Security question after I had the conversation
okay.
with the embassy. So when I do a live, I want at least the first 10 minutes of it to be informative instead of just saying, hi, Bob in Oklahoma and hi, Jack in, Wisconsin. And I get weather reports from people
So
and
the so
all
the
that.
only important thing you have to say is Social
So I
Security.
want to be able to at least add some content to the start of the live and talk about something that
I
somebody
thought you
can.
were going to get divorced, and I had a chance with baby May. I mean, you said
It's
something
still in the
important.
works. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something important.
She's
I always tell people, I says, baby May, call me if he's in the hospital so that I can get the pillow.
Goldfinger asked me
Such a good friend.
every day. Goldfinger asked me, "How you feeling?
No, everything okay?
How you
When it
feeling?
was
All
sick,
right?"
I called you. I text you and
And then
called
I'll
you
go,
every
"I
day.
don't feel that good." He goes, "Is it serious?"
Remember that? I used to bug you every day.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
feeling okay? You
yeah,
sure?
yeah. Does baby mate anything? Can I
Yeah,
get her? Can I bring her
I
something?
can come over. Such a friend. Friends like me. What do we got?
Uh,
My phone is on full volume.
so I do lives very,
Sorry,
very
Glenn.
rarely. Going back to that dealio.
I promise, guys, I'll turn up the gain on the next one. I'll figure it out. I
Any
got to
update
ask
on the
Chat
lane
GPT.
you're going to build soon, Paul? Well, I covered that in the beginning of this live stream, but to answer it real succinctly, we're going to build next year.
Have you changed your plans at all, designs?
Yes.
Because I know you showed me the designs. Okay,
Yes.
I'd like to see the new designs.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, you
I'm not.
plan on
I'm going to
changing?
cross that bridge when I come to it.
Okay,
And I am gathering so many.
because you had a big studio going on.
Yeah.
That room was big.
Yeah.
That's why you came in here and go, this room's so small.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you had a huge
Yeah.
master bedroom as a studio
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No.
It had a, it had a,
It had a CR.
it was a CR.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
led through to the house. Is that
No, there was no entrance to the house
there was
from the
no interest in the
studio.
house? Oh, and I
There was an
told you to add one.
exterior
Okay.
door because May wanted her privacy. So in other words, I could bring you or anybody
Yeah,
else
but you
in,
could still.
and then they would not have access to the house, and unless I took them around the house and let them in.
Well, I
And
could
I
tell you
wanted
some
that
things
because of May's really private. A lot
when
of
you're
times,
ready. I
um,
got to turn you on to a few soundproofing things that I found that I did wrong in this room. Quite a bit of things wrong, which
well,
is too late to
I've got my
change.
own ideas about that, but I
But
would
you actually,
definitely
the
hit you
best
up for it.
soundproofing is double walls
Yeah, and
and separation
and
of the
foam in the
foam in the middle,
hollow
but a
block.
separation metal
Right,
across, you
right,
know, because they use cement,
right.
here. There's a
I
way.
honestly don't know if at that time if I'm going to be that deep into YouTube anymore. Everything must come to an
No, you
end,
can't. No, no,
right?
no, no. Don't say that. That's
So,
what happened with Ricky, isn't it?
okay, yeah, yeah.
He's not as active.
Well, he's been at it since 2012,
I know.
so
And
he's
he's been
gone
at it a while.
AI, and I understand that.
But you got to stay active, dude.
Well, I would do a little bit, but if I
People
did,
want to hear you, want to see you.
eh,
Yeah,
everything runs its course, you
you
know.
think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You were gonna do another YouTube channel a couple times, a different one,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
never did.
Well, that I would do, but I wouldn't announce it. And that's where I would stay active on YouTube, is
What were the other channels?
I
You
would
had
have more of an
ideas.
anonymous channel, and I would talk about totally different subjects and
Yeah.
topics.
I know
Yeah.
you talked to me about that over 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. That's been a big desire because I'm kind of locked into the Philippines. Obviously, Paul in the Philippines. What else
Yeah.
am I supposed to talk about? So I don't do politics, and I don't do a lot of or any sexual content. I don't talk about
No,
that
not
kind of stuff.
religious. You never talk about
Never
religion.
talk about. Well, one time I did. One time I did.
Did it get you in trouble?
No,
Not too much?
no, no,
Politics will.
no. You know, it's really, really people are not interested in, which is interesting to me, is children or orphanages, like our orphanage
Yeah, that
village
didn't
that
go
we.
over well, did it?
No, and if you look back, if you look at the Filipina P, or someone that's really popular and big, like 5 times the size of me, she does the same thing. Like once a year, she'll go out at Christmas and do something.
Mhm.
And I use her as an example because so many people that follow her follow me, or vice versa, however you want to put it. But her revenue and her views dropped dramatically. And the reason why I think is because people that watch want to see how will this help me. Well, I'm interested in this, and for me, and
I
so watching you do something benevolent for someone else doesn't float their boat.
I will say for me, when I did the computer classroom for the kids,
Mhm,
and it was a kids project
mhm,
for elementary school, excuse me, uh, I got a whole lot of support
mhm.
for that. But it was right at November, December period, October, November, December. So the problem is people only think about giving just before Christmas. It's I'm
I'm not even
guilty of it
talking
too.
about giving. I'm just talking about views.
Views.
I'm just
Okay.
talking about people watching your channel. So
Just
if
not
you want
interested.
content, I'll still do that content because it's a passion project. I'll do content where I know when I release it, no one's going to watch this.
I
But it's
will say
because I want to release it, so I do it.
when I had Hawkeye's wife on,
Mhm.
Janessa, I have that's my top video.
Sure, you got a chick on here. You got a
But
pretty
she's
woman on
married.
here.
But
It
they
doesn't
like
matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You put a pretty girl on your channel and you're going to get views.
Yeah,
It's just the way of the world.
that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's the way we are. We're guys. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, the digital nomad
Hmm.
thing is going to have a lot of caveats to it. You have to earn 2000 or show proof of income of 2000. You have to have medical insurance. So some kid coming over here is trying to start a YouTube channel isn't going to work.
I don't know much about it.
It's a new thing. It's a new visa.
I've heard about,
And at
but I
the end
don't.
of the day, I've talked it over with a couple of guys. You're better off just coming over on a tourist visa.
What's the advantage of it?
I don't know. I don't know.
You still have to get
It's kind
visas?
of like a work permit, but it's it costs $300 a year, is what I've heard. You still have to prove income. So there's guys over here on Social Security that can't prove 2,000, right?
Yeah.
So
But
they want
what's the
them to
advantage if
prove
you
that they're
could?
already making two. I don't know.
I'm wondering if
I
it's
don't
cheaper
know.
than having to go every 2 months. I just got went yesterday, got my visa renewed.
All right.
It's really a pain in the butt because you have to
I hear
go,
you.
then you got to go back a week later to pick it up.
Well, the real pain of it is because did away with the 6 months.
Right.
The 6 months was cool.
Yes.
You go down 6 months and you went twice a year and no big deal. Now you're going every 2 months, and then you, like you said, got to make another trip back and pick it up.
Mm,
Anyway,
that's a pain.
in your opinion, what's the best scooter? Well, that's up your alley.
Here's the thing. There is no such thing. The best scooter is the one that you enjoy riding and you can handle. So there's too many choices. That's why I have 4 different designs, and there's probably about 20 available. So the best scooter is the one that fits you. You have to. I tell people that they're like have a question like that. Rent 1 week. Rent it a week, and rent a different one until you find the one you like. Then go
Short
out and buy
term.
what you like.
You lost about 17K, didn't you? I would have gone ape over it. You work hard. Well, you're absolutely spot on, Glenn. $17,000 was what went out the window.
Yeah, it sucks.
And yeah, I work hard, but guess what? That time's come and gone. I've recouped the money.
That's
I mean,
good.
I didn't make it back. It's still
No, it's
history.
gone.
Um, um, but at the end of the day, my bank balance is bigger now than it was then. So, because I'm so frugal, and I don't like to
Right.
say cheap because you
I'm
know me.
cheap.
No, you're not. Because you'll pick up a check. I'll pick up a check.
Yeah,
Neither one of us ever has any issues with
that's
that
true.
kind of stuff. That's cheap. Is a guy that will.
No, I'll treat people to
I'll leave a
coffee
tip.
meals. Yeah, I
You'll
leave
leave
a
a
tip.
tip.
Yeah.
A guy that doesn't leave anybody a penny is cheap.
Okay.
So that's my interpretation of cheap. Frugal is not eating out every day.
Yeah, it
You
gets
know,
expensive.
yeah, yeah,
It does get expensive.
yeah. So there's a
It's five,
difference.
600
So yes,
pesos to
he's
eat out.
absolutely right. 17K is what I lost,
It's a lot of money.
and it's a lot of money, and you just got to roll with it. No one died. you
That's
know,
true. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, no one died. And I'll tell you
Someone
what
could have got
really
hurt,
breaks
lost
my
a limb,
heart.
things like that.
What really, really breaks my heart is that there are people that I am friends with that I know that lost their life savings.
Yeah, that
I'm talking
sucks.
$250,000, 200,000. Some people lost 50, 60 grand, 80 grand.
It's big money.
They just got snookered and snookered and snookered, and they ruined their retirement. I
Were
am
they
good
living
friends
here?
with people that started a build with this dude. He
Yeah.
got, 25% done, and they thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and so did I. I'm watching him work, and everything's going cool. And then one day he just shut off,
It just stopped
just stopped.
and took the money.
So I'll be happy to stay on here with you, but I need to go use the restroom. Are you cool with that, or do you want to
Um,
shut it down?
yeah, we could talk about you while you're gone.
Okay, cool.
Go for it. All right, everybody, we're going to talk about Paul. What do you want to know? Ask me. I am so happy. I have my permanent 13A visa. No more extensions every 2 months and save lots of money. But I know there's other things you have to do. And the 13, there's other things that come up with 13A. But if I get married, I might try that. Paul will have to read that when he gets back. We don't want him to go either. Nobody wants him to go. Uh, yeah, well, uh, after Paul, you're going to get Paul without me because I'm going to have to use the bathroom. Anyway, so I could talk about a little bit more about precious metals while he's gone. Okay. So I know I had a comment that asked me about precious metals. What you want to do on precious metals is my suggestion is diversify. So you want to buy some silver and gold. You want to get it in 1 ounce rounds or smaller because, in my opinion, silver has a lot more potential than gold. The thing is, when you go to barter or sell it, you don't want it. You have one gold coin, it's going to be 5, 7, 8,000. It's too much money for one coin. Or one silver coin, 1 ounce, it's going to be hundreds of dollars. So it's a lot better to go silver than gold. So you would want 10 times more silver than gold at least. And you always get pure. Don't get coin silver, not 90% coin. You don't want to get sterling. You don't want to get uh, anything unless it's 999 fine. And the best ones to get Canadian maple leaves, American eagles, or American buffaloes in a pure form. So that's your answer. That's what you should get. Put a little bit away, but diversify. That's not the only thing you should have put away. All right, there's my short blip. Oh, he went for the bathroom to go get a smoke. I see him through the window. So he's now out there talking to Carolyn, and he's getting a smoke. So he's leaving the channel to me. I think he got burned out. But I really appreciate everybody for the donations. I'm gonna go back. Uh, Muttering, Lord P, Zach, and Mike. That's my first. I don't know what they call them, super chats or something like that. Super funds. Those were my first I got, so I really appreciate that, guys. And I got 131 likes. I appreciate it. So I feel like I'm just starting on. I'm just a babe in the woods. Paul's helping me. Um, is there a learning curve for learning how to use the bikes? Start with a small one, a 125. Just take it slow, and almost anybody can handle a 125. I don't care if you're 75 or 80. You can handle a 125, and it'll be a little too small for you, but it's okay because you can handle it. You don't have to. You don't have a heavy bike that because if you lean, it's going to go over on it. No, you can lean on that bike and you'll be able to ride it up right away because it's not heavy. It's a smaller engine. It's just easy. It's almost like riding a big, um, uh, uh, not a motorbike, but like a I can think of as a bull taco. I forgot their name. Uh, Mini bike. It's like riding a big mini bike. It's easy to handle. Try that for a while, and then after a couple weeks or a month, and that's what I did. I didn't know how to ride. I had a 125 Click Honda, and I rented that for a month. And then after that, I go, okay, I can go to a bigger bike now, and then try different bikes. The 160s, roughly 160 size, come in NMAX by Yamaha, and Honda has both a PCX and an ADV, and the ADV is the biggest, heaviest bike. Even though they have the same engine, the ADV is a little heavier. That's my suggestion on that. It's not. Don't tell Paul I said that. But don't tell Paul I said that. But I don't think building's a good idea if you come here. Now he's doing it for a reason for security for baby May, and I understand that. But I would myself want to buy a house if I was going to buy it, and if I did, it would have to be in Carolyn's name because I could only own the house, not the land, and then the land would have to be in a long-term lease, or I could lease back. The land would have to be in a citizen's name. All right, 125 versus 150 horsepower. It, it's not a question of what's better. It's a question of what you feel comfortable. Okay, it's the 125 will take everybody up a hill and everything else. So if you don't know how to ride, start with the 125. You can always get a bigger bike later. Uh, Again, thank you, Zach. First time doing a super. My first time receiving it. Uh, you would know more about a 1380 than me. Someone
1380 is absolutely right. You go through a 1 year probationary period,
It's a lot
and
cheaper.
yeah.
It's a lot better for. You got your phone ringing.
Well, I'm gonna yeah.
We're gonna cut out in a minute.
No, no, no. I was gonna do something. Um, where was I? You go through a 1 year probation, and then you go back for an interview
Okay.
with the wifey, and they ask you questions, and away you go. Or you can be like, I won't name who, but I have a friend that went before me and was turned down.
Really?
Yeah.
What would make that happen?
Because it depends on the interviewer. So this guy, you get a nice guy or you get a clown. So you get these guys that are drunk with power and they're judgmental and they've
Huh.
got a little bit of authority and
Okay.
they're going to show you who's boss. And so,
So if they just don't like you.
well, they had a real problem with the 40-year age gap.
Okay.
Okay. And just the dynamic and the look. And so I guess uh, I don't know how they conducted themselves during the interview. I
Right.
imagine they were ladies and gentlemen to the man. Um, but it turned out that they used a service to set them up with the appointment, which is advisable. And so they went and told the service, hey, we got turned down. And the service said, give me 3,000 pesos. And she said, I'll be right back.
Oh,
And then half hour later, the guy had a change of heart and he went
wow.
ahead and approved it. That's a
A lot
true
of that here.
story.
A lot of that here.
Now, when May and I went there, we sat down with the Philippines version of Elvis Presley. This was the most handsome guy I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Okay. He was like Donny Osmond, Elvis Presley,
All put together.
and all put together. And he was the nicest guy. We just got lucky. And you know what he asked us? He didn't ask me anything. He, well, he did. He asked me one question. He asked May, he says, how does he treat you in Visayan? And she answered, she said, great. He goes, okay, you guys are good.
That
He
was
goes, what
nice.
about you, sir? He says, do you have any questions for me? And I said, not really. He says, well, how do you spend your time? And I told him, and I said, I also am a liaison with the embassy. And because I had a pin on, he
Oh,
saw the pin. He asked me about that. He goes, really? He goes, you work for them? I said, no, I volunteer. He goes, well, you're the kind of guy we want in our country. You're volunteering. Boom,
There
you're
you go.
approved.
And I'm sure you wore that pin on purpose.
Absolutely.
Doesn't hurt to doesn't hurt to use the
It's
which we
very
have.
important. You ever watch Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah, right.
You wear a pilot's uniform, people think you're a pilot.
Yeah. Where's your favorite getaway in the area you live? What's yours favorite getaway? I don't have a getaway. Seagior for me, but
Getaway? It's a really good question.
well, you mentioned
Well,
Rovina Hotel.
yeah, we do staycations at a hotel, but that's usually on my birthday. Um, we actually are planning to go to another hotel in a couple of weeks to do the same thing, but it's a little out of the way. It's a place called
Okay.
Starview,
Okay.
and it's real peaceful. It's real big. It's real quiet, and we're going there primarily to do two things. Number one, just get out of town. You know,
Okay.
it's out of town, but it's not. You know, it's
Okay.
45 minutes away.
That's not too bad.
No, and um, the rooms are so huge that we plan on doing a lot of videos. We're gonna sort of it's YouTube's complicated for me. Like I haven't done a video in a week, and it's not
Really?
because I haven't any ideas. It's because I've just been busy, and
Okay.
then by the time I get home, I'm too tired, or it's too hot, or basically I'm just wore out. And if I'm wore out, I don't want to sit down and do you know,
Right.
just a half-ass video for the sake of doing a video. But we're gonna go there with a game plan. And
That's
I try to
cool.
do two or three or four at
So you
one
do the
time.
hotel scene. I like Sigior. I just go to Sigior. Cebu's okay. It's a little crowded. I could take it for a few days.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
the
the
same.
Ayala Mall. I miss
I
having a
like that
really
too.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, we like it like you do. We like it for about 2 days.
yeah.
And then we were going to stay a
Then it's too much.
third. And I looked at May and I go, "You want to book another night?" She goes, "Nah, I just want to go home." I said, "Me too." So we went home. You know, it's like, okay, we're in the big city. I
Yeah.
get the feeling that's what's going to happen when we go to Makati or BGC.
I like to go to BGC. I
We're
would
going to stay up in this in a high rise somewhere, and we'll rent it out for 3 days, and I'm sure we'll have a great time.
you have a
And
favorite hotel in Cebu. It's right next to the
I
mall.
stay at the Quest.
Yeah, that's what the
Yeah,
Quest.
yeah,
I put them in my ebook is
yeah.
because of your
They're
comments on it.
pricey, man.
I know.
The you don't want to drink beer if you're a beer drinker or even a soda pop at the pool. It's brutal. I
Really.
paid 100 pesos for a bottle of water. Where the-
They're
I buy it in the
they're
store for
10,
10.
10 pesos anywhere else. How about the hotel rooms? How much is the
The
Quest?
hotels, they don't kill you.
Okay.
50, 60 a night.
That's fine. It's a little on the high
A
side for a
little on the high
Filipino,
side,
but it's right next to the Ayala,
but it's
right?
across the street from Ayala
Okay.
Mall. And
Okay.
the staff, I would say, makes that place because they
Okay.
are super helpful, super friendly. Um, they the buffet in the morning is not my favorite. Well, I don't eat breakfast anyway,
Right.
but the dinner buffet I really like.
What buffet? What place do you have a good have breakfast near that Quest hotel? Is there another hotel that has?
I don't know.
Okay.
Um, the best breakfast I ever had was in Thailand
Yeah.
at the hotel in
Yeah.
Bangkok.
Thailand has great food no matter
Ooh,
what.
yeah.
I miss Thailand food.
Oh boy.
Don't talk
Yeah.
about food. I haven't eaten. Okay.
Even me said the rice tastes better in Thailand.
How could that be?
I don't know. Well, it's different. I don't know. Maybe it's just cleaner.
Maybe it's
Maybe
like
it's
pizza. It's the water.
yeah,
You
it
know,
could be.
the dough
It
that they
very
use
well
in
be.
Chicago or New York. And New York
Could
hot
be.
dog tastes better than anywhere else.
She wasn't making it up. She's got no reason to say it. You know, she goes, "Well, this rice tastes
I miss
better."
the Sabra. God, I'm
Oh
talking food.
man.
It's driving me nuts.
No.
Okay. It's on my mind. Sorry, guys. I haven't eaten. Day 4 of 5-day fast. Um,
Well, getaway. Well, my getaway, my favorite getaway is May and I like to do drives. So last brownout, not the last brownout, our friends Joe and Lizelle are leaving for America for 6 months. So we threw them in the car and we took them up to Twin Lakes, and then we went to we just go for drives,
yeah, that's cool.
and
Well, you have a
that's
car.
that. And then yeah, we have the car, so we'll go for a long drive up the coast. You know, we'll go up to like Twin Lakes, pull in there, and it's just fun to see the scenery and just kind of get in the nature and stop off and have a coffee or lunch or
Ellen
something
doesn't
like
like
that.
going on my motorbike
I don't
scooter.
blame her. Natives
When
only
I
did on
first
mine.
got it, I put it down a few times with her
Remember,
on it. She was able to jump off, I wasn't.
remember.
But that was because I was learning, and I only had a problem when I stopped. Okay, I didn't hit anything. I didn't hit anybody. I didn't go down a ravine or anything. But when I stopped, I had a bad habit of putting a foot down and then leaning a little bit. And that bike is heavy. I got to use the CR. You're on. You can answer the questions now. I'll be back, guys.
Okay, I don't have any way of controlling the questions, so. Okay. Amazing how busy you are when you're tired. That's the truth. Um, yeah, people say they get bored out here. I actually get bored too. Um, there's days that I just don't like it. Um, it's hot. It's been crowded. Everything's been out of stock. So, do we have a perfect life out here? No. It's it has its challenges, but we do stay busy. And I think it's because for Goldfinger and myself, I'll try to speak for him a little bit. Both of us are social creatures. We like spending time with friends, and and our better halves make it interesting, and they have ideas and needs and wants. So I don't want to retire. I had a guy made a comment: "You work too much, or you do too much." If it was me, I would just lay on the beach every day. Well, I did that for a while. I did when I lived in Thailand. I went to the beach every day. And after about 3 weeks, I got sick of laying on the beach. It just became redundant. It was no longer special. So I can see dreaming of that when you're in your office, like I was in my office, and I just wanted to go someplace tropical, sit under a palm tree, have some drinks, go in the ocean, and back out, relax. But we're talking about just going to the beach every day. That gets old,
Well, there's
you
not too
know.
many great beaches
Well,
here.
I'm just saying in general. I'm saying
Yeah.
in Thailand, when I lived there, it was my dream to go to the
Hello,
beach
everybody.
every day,
Yeah.
and I did. And after 2 or 3 weeks, I got sick of going to the beach. It was
Yeah.
just
I'm not a beach
the
person.
same old.
Well, I'm
You
not a
know,
beach. I don't go to the beach. When Carolyn goes to the beach, she says, "Why don't you come with us?" I pass because I don't like
that's good
sand.
too.
I don't like sand and I don't like salt water.
I hear you.
I like watching people.
Yeah, waves. So
The
I
waves
like
are
to
interesting.
body surf and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I like the sound of the
You know,
waves.
but here we don't have waves.
No,
We don't have blue beaches. We don't have
a lot
white
of
sand.
islands here. There's
So
not big waves.
you got to travel to find a nice beach here. You got to go to Palawan or something like that.
But I'm just not a beach person. Not, it's not really my
Let's
thing.
see. Did you smoke any weed when in Thailand? No, I don't smoke weed.
I don't smoke
I don't
weed.
like weed.
I did 20 years ago, maybe 25. Makes me eat everything in the refrigerator and I get goofy. So no, I don't. I haven't done it in a long time. Uh, hit the like button. It's free,
Yeah.
says Papa. Let's see. Wife and I live in the province and never get bored. Always something to do. Well, someone said earlier, I'll have to go back, but it says you're not really retired when you retire. You seem to get busier, which is very true. I remember seeing it before I left. There it is. Amazing how busy we are when retired, says Alan. Yeah, I'm actually pretty busy. My days go by quickly. I don't lounge around all day. Um, uh, what are you doing? Reading emails or messages? I see him. He's got his nose in the phone.
No, I'm actually watching us.
You're watching
Yeah,
us.
I'm looking. I'm trying to see the comments.
Oh, okay. What? You can't see them in front of you? They're right there.
They're not coming up.
Wait, what do you mean the comments aren't coming up?
On my phone.
Oh, no, they wouldn't be. We're live. You wouldn't see the comments. Anyway, so we've been at this for a couple hours, I think. Yeah, a little over. Hey, Michael. Oh my God, look at your screen, Paul.
Oh, Michael's here. Good
250
job.
pesos. Awesome, dude.
Unbelievable.
Thank you. Had Michael on. There's a video about Michael, uh, you can find Pacific Cross information on that, and you can reach him for Pacific Cross health insurance, which I use. Uh, you sent me $1. That's what you had your nose to the phone for. You sent me $1. Thank you, Paul. Paul in the Philippines. Thank you very much. Hope we get to visit here soon. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, send me an ebook.
Right. I used to drive you nuts with the ebook. Don't forget to mention he used to goes, I know it's in the ebook. I know that ebook. I have put out a lot of those ebooks, dude. They're still free.
Thousands, right?
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah.
It's gotten too much for me to handle it all. Like if something new comes out, like if I knew the next I'm not trying to do a new version because when I do a new version, I send it to everybody. It takes 2-3 days, actually more than that. Just if I do several hundred, like 300 to 500 a day, it takes me a week to get them all out. It's too many. So I got to figure out a better way. And Carolyn says, "Oh yeah, you can use Google something or other." And I'm going, "Great,
Dropbox or something, wasn't it? Or
there's a
something like
something
that.
I don't know." And I says, "Well, do it." And she says, "I will. This has been going on for 6 months."
Right. Right.
She tells me. So in order to get it all out, I have to copy and paste and do it in a BCC so nobody sees each other's emails and send out 100 to 200 at a time. And it takes a long time, it takes
So
hours.
stop updating it.
Stop updating it. That's what I did. I mean, I haven't updated it since last year.
Seriously, I would chill it on the restaurants.
The
Because
restaurants and the hotels are the problem.
they're going to be, because like I just said, I don't want to be redundant here, but I said on my deal about the Sierra, I used to tout it, and people say, "Where should I stay?" I go, "Well, I like it.
Yeah, it's a
I like
problem.
it here." And that's a tough question. Where should I stay? Well, I don't know their budget. I don't know that. So my standard reply was, "I like the Sierra. Check it
I've
out
gotten
on
good reviews on
Agoda."
Southview, which is right down the street from me,
Yep.
especially if they want to rent a scooter because they can walk over. Go Hotel, very small,
Soft landing.
inexpensive.
Very soft
It's
landing.
right next to the mall.
I love the Go Hotel because well, I don't love it. I wouldn't want to stay there very
It's not
long
long term.
because
No,
it's so small.
it
The
is very
rooms are
small.
a little box. You don't even have a table
I know.
or a desk or anything like that. I mean, it's just bare
Small.
bones. But it's air, TV,
You
shower,
got the mall,
bed. And you go to the mall
and the mall's
and
huge.
it's right next door. You just walk over
Right.
and boom, you
Yeah.
got everything and anything you could possibly need there.
The
And
Sierra
so if
Inn
you're
is
just
pretty good.
showing up in the town, I've said 100 times, don't commit to anything. Just get a hotel room.
Yeah.
And I would rent maybe 3, 4, 5 days at the go,
When I
and
first
then I would
came over,
upgrade from there.
yeah. When I first came over, it was actually cheaper to rent, and I think it still is, at some hotels.
Check you out. You got $100.
How did I do that? Are you still here? America needs to go to bed. Here's 100 smackers to end this. He's paying me to go off. Love you. Okay, Jam. Nice meeting Paul and May last August. Hope to meet you in person soon. Please do.
Hey, you're
Wow.
up to 128 bucks.
That's incredible, dude. I guess they'll probably ask me now, oh, what's my bank account number? Because there says I had $2.26 before I started. That's all I had is $2. And I
the
asked you,
magic number.
and I
That's right.
went into YouTube and I go, don't you want to know? No, we don't need it right now. We'll contact you when we
cracked
need
the
it.
$100. Yeah.
I actually
Congratulations, brother.
I did it for the first month.
Congratulations,
I did
man.
it for the first month. I got monetized and got money.
Right now.
Awesome.
Today.
Jam, thank you.
Day.
Okay.
Thank you very much on Goldfinger's behalf, Mr. JMR's desk. America needs to go to bed. It's 100 smackaroos to end this. I think you should take his advice.
Yeah.
You know, if he's paying $100 to stop listening to us,
Read this one. It's
we
about
should probably
you.
honor
It's a
that.
good noticer of things.
Paul watched a video with you from Every Man Has a Story. I think it was 6 to 7 years ago. You don't even look the same person. 1,000% better looking, healthier now. Well, thank you very much. To avoid politics, do either of you have any concerns about China's aggression? We live about 120 miles from Taiwan and hard to ignore.
Mm.
I don't get involved in stuff I can't control. You know, I just really don't.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Goldfinger's
What
still
ifs?
dizzy from the $100 bill he
Yeah,
just
I'm
got.
still thinking of, oh, what could I do with that 100? I don't save money. I'm not a saver.
Next time I see you, I'll give you $1 and sideways.
Save you.
Just give you the YouTube cut.
Now we're going to be signing off, guys. We promise.
Yeah,
It's getting late
you
for
have
them.
$100 request to leave, so
It's
you
midnight.
better.
It's midnight on the East Coast right now. Yeah,
Jeez.
12-hour difference. All
Well,
right, guys.
goodbye, everybody.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
watching.
everything. Well, I'll fix the sound. I promise I will work on the sound. I can't help what I look like, though. Maybe I'll lose some weight. Maybe when you see me next week, Paul come in every Wednesday, possibly. Maybe you'll see a difference. I hope so. Anyway, we're going to end the stream. I appreciate it all, and thanks for getting me money to actually have revenue. I appreciate that. Anyway, this guy just came back. Glad I moved the blowhole. America is so expensive. That's why we're here, guys. Take care.
Maybe you got 150 likes. I think you should be more excited about the likes than
I
that.
am. I'm
You
super.
know, that's really
I
that's really
appreciate it.
the what you're looking for. You
Let's
got
see.
152 people in the room. That's great.
I'll be live Friday, 10 a.m. my time, guys. Okay, so Friday I'll be live. It'll be your 10 p.m. on the East Coast and countdown for the West Coast.
You accept checks.
Yeah. Have a good day, Zach.
MasterCard, Visa.
IOUs, promises, firstborn. Bye, guys. Love you.
You guys.
Now the question is, do I end it now or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
end it.
Yeah. Okay. Because they'll still see the rest of it, right? All right.